What is going on? What's going on, y'all? Come on in. Come on in. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. VA in the building. Brian Watkins, Andrew McKinney. Yo, what's up, Mark? I can only watch for 20 minutes. Then I'm going to catch the replay. But thanks in advance for the knowledge, content, low end or no end. Ace Lux Transportation, Katy, Texas, checking in, brother from the Chi. We have a brother from the Chi that is currently in Katy, Texas. By the way, Chicago, Alton Hooker, what's going on? Shout out to Pippi in the building. Shout out to all the MGMs, the Mentor Gang members in the building, Interstate Screw, Detroit in the building, New York in the building, Statesville in the building. Go ahead and hit that roll call. Let me know where y'all checking in from. Represent where you from, represent where you are from, represent where you from. Tonight we're going to be talking about desperation induced focus. And now I know some people are probably looking at it like, what the hell is Mark talking about? What Mark then came up with now? Desperation induced focus. Philly in the house. What's good? What's good? Cello 215. Chicago Southside. Pelham Wiley, what's going on? T-Gap 42, Atlanta in the building. Statesville, North Carolina in the building. Represent where you guys are from. Represent where you guys are from. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about desperation-induced focus. Let me see how many people we got. We got 17 people so far. I'm trying to cut my lives down, so I'm not going to be waiting on people. A lot of people watch the replays anyway, so we're going to jump straight into it. But before we jump into the topic for tonight, the rooftop channel, what is going on? Before we jump into tonight's topic, I just want to do an update. I saw something that came across my feed on YouTube earlier today. And I just wanted to touch on that because it's something that I put out there about a month, maybe a little over a month ago. But before we do it, hey, Pippi, how are we looking tonight? Did I line it up right tonight? Am I looking like a Bruce Lee movie, or we straight tonight? Or is it a delay with the audio and the video? Let me know if we looking like a 1970s Bruce Lee movie, or did we get it right tonight? I was watching a replay from Sunday night, and it looked like the audio synced up with the video when I jumped on with Axel. We got On Track Trucking in the building. Mr. Kirk from On Track Trucking in the building. I'm going to drop that link a little bit later on. Hey, Pippi, how we looking? We looking like a Bruce Lee movie, or we good? Are we good? Let me know. And then I'm going to go. Let me know, and then I'm going to go. Let me know, Pippi. All right, so before we get into the topic for tonight, or the presentation for tonight, which is desperation-induced focus, something came across my feed on my YouTube channel, Tallahassee in the building, and it was something that I talked about a month ago, which is that Amazon middle mile route opportunity. All right, so middle mile route opportunity is something that I put out there. I broke that news. All right, this is something that is real. All right, Amazon is quietly rolling it out. When Amazon introduces new programs, they roll them out very quietly. If you just do a simple Google search of Amazon quietly, you'll see how many programs and products and things they roll out. That's just their forte. That's just how they roll things out. They don't do media circuits. They don't do press runs when they unveil things. They roll them out quietly. All right, they did DSP the same way. They did AFP the same way. Other products that they've rolled out, that's how they do it. All right, so middle mile route opportunity is essentially what Amazon Relay is, but in the form of Amazon DSP and Amazon AFP. All right, and they've offered it to the top DSPs across the country. This is just information for those that didn't watch that video that I put out a month ago. They rolled it out for the top DSPs across the country. These are DSPs that operate in multiple domiciles and multiple states. So these are the top DSPs. These are the DSPs that have a proven track record of success. All right, they have a proven track record of success. These aren't the mom and pop, one domicile DSPs. All right, these are the big boys. These are the guys that are running multiple domiciles, multiple states. These guys running Amazon contracts. These are guys running FedEx contracts. These are the big boys. All right. And they've rolled it out with them first. They're probably eventually going to open it up to other DSPs before they ultimately open it up to the public like they have with DSP and AFP. And I introduced this. No one else is talking about it. It's quiet. You can't really Google search it. No information will come up. But people have been seeing these trucks. People have DM'd me, you know what I'm saying? I had someone leave a comment under the video the other day and say, hey, Mark, you know what? These trucks are pulling in, and the more they pull in, the less freight that's on the load board. All right. So I came across a short. Emperor Walker in the building. Oh, let me get rid of this so I can pull up some of these comments and show y'all some love real quick. We got Low Key Ace in the building. Finally caught a live. Big shout out. Miami in the building. Emperor Walker in the building. What's going on? Who else we got? Interstate Screw. What does DSP stand for? That's Delivery Service Partner. AFP is Amazon Freight Partner. Pippi. We got, who else we got? King Mark and gang. What up? I'm in this thing. Just got off the freeway. It's the Walk in the building. Urban and Behold in the building. All right, so I came across a video earlier today, and I just want to pull it up on the screen real quick for y'all to see it, and then I want to look at some comments on this thing too. All right, so give me a second here, y'all. Let me pull this up. Let me pull it up here. Let me share this screen. All right, so I'm going to play this video. Let me move this out the way.
Box truck, everybody talking about the Amazon is doing. It's made from, it's powered by natural gas, CNG. Got that little shit right there. It's a, you know what I'm saying? It's a box truck. It's a side-by-side comparison. It looks like it is a 26-foot box truck. It sounds like they hiring third-party companies to drive them. And so Amazon will not be liable for anything. See how that do? Oh boy, Amazon, smart again. All right, y'all, so this is the...
All right, so let me, I want to look at some of these comments too. Hold on. I want to look at some of these comments. Amazon dirty as F. All right. So when you drop it off, is it on you to figure out getting back home? But, you know, before we do this, let me break down what he said. He said he thinks that Amazon is hiring third parties, so they're not hiring third parties. All right. These are delivery service partners that are already in the program. These are delivery service partners that are already in the program. These are the top DSPs across the country that they rolled it out to and offered it to first, that are running it, right? So it's not, I guess they are third parties, but these are people that are already in the network running semis and running vans, all right? So when you drop it off, is it on you to figure out getting home, or do you have a way to get you back? I commonly see a one-way trip doing this, but always wonder if it would be stranded once I drop. So this person is probably confused, all right? This is not my channel. This, shout out to James Backwards 415. I guess he's a box truck content creator, so let me give him his credit. Let me cite my source. This is from James Backwards 415's YouTube channel. This is DSP, so they're hiring people, and I'm going to show you at an hourly wage. So your point of origin is where you're going to return to every day. Where you start is where you're going to return. These are hourly guys. These are hourly guys. The same way DSP works, the same way AFP works, that's how they're running the MMRO program, all right? That's how they're running the MMR program. I don't understand what the issue is. Now let's look at this comment. It's not going to work. Just wait till them trucks start breaking down. The cost to repair them would make them change their Amazon mind. Now this is where I disagree. James Backwards agreed with the person who said that on his video, but here's where I disagree. And here's why I disagree, because it's already proven. They've successfully launched the DSP program with thousands of vans. That's a success. They also have a program with semi trucks, which is the AFP program, and that's a success. So I don't see why the box truck is not going to be a success. And as far as the maintenance, they're already running tons of vans. They're already running tons of semi trucks, which semi trucks are more to maintain. So the box trucks aren't going to be a big issue. As far as the maintenance on the box trucks, the Amazon is not paying for the maintenance on the box trucks. The box trucks are not going to be maintained by Amazon. All right. The box trucks are going to be maintained ultimately by the DSP or the MMRO or the AFP, who's ever owning those routes. All right. Amazon uses a third party company by the name of Element. All right. Element is the company that Amazon uses to manage their fleet. All right. So all those vans, all those semi trucks that you see on the road that are branded with Amazon, Amazon doesn't manage their fleet. All right. Amazon is a smart company. All right. They're not a dumb company. All right. So they have a company, a third party company. It's called Element, which manages the fleet for them. So if I'm a DSP and I got 20 vans, right? And let's say I have a van due up for service, there's a portal that the DSPs use when trucks are damaged, trucks need service, a truck needs a light bulb or a headlight. They put that maintenance request in the portal, and then Element handles that, and then it gets charged back. Ultimately, some things don't get charged back, but like obviously damages when things are in accidents, that stuff gets charged back. And then there's a lease agreement, all right, that the DSP is paying back to Amazon that comes out of their settlement as well. So the way it's structured is Amazon is providing you the vehicles, all right, everything that the cost of the vehicles, the maintenance of the vehicles, the lease agreement of the vehicle that the DSP is paying, Element is ultimately handling all of that for Amazon. All right. So maintenance is not going to be an issue for a box truck. All right. The reason why they're going this way is it could be a plethora of reasons. I talked about this months ago before I even knew that this was going to be a thing. I predicted it was going to be a thing because they already have vans on the final mile side. On the long haul side, they have trucks. It was only a matter of time that they were going to start incorporating box trucks into that middle mile relay program. And then with all of the hiccups that happened last year and that are currently happening, it's probably just forcing their hand even more. All the complaints that a lot of people probably make about the post offices that I see, that problem is going to be solved when a DSP who's operating, let's say 10 vans, who buys into that program, let's say, I'm just making up a number. I don't know what the buy-in for this program is yet. But let's say, so the minimum buy-in for DSP is what, 10 grand? And then the minimum buy-in for AFP is 40 grand. So let's say the buy-in, for an example, is 25 grand. 25 grand, they contract you out, lease you out 10, 26-foot box trucks. All right. You hire the drivers to drive those box trucks. All right. You pay them an hourly wage. All right. Who cares if the post office is open or not? These guys are getting paid by the hour. So if they can't drop the pallet and they got to sit there for 2 hours, that's just $40. All right. So $40, whoop-de-doo, who cares, right? They don't care. They're still saving a lot more money by running at this rate than they would be paying, let's say, a owner operator $400 or $500 or $300 to run that load over time. The margin, I'm pretty sure, is going to be the same, all right, for the middle mile route opportunity program DSPs as it would be for the DSPs and the AFPs. It's going to be somewhere between 7 and 12%. All right, so let me pull this up as well. Let me show you this. Give me 1 second. Let's share this. All right, so right here is Indeed, and you guys can go do this stuff yourself. Here are all the DSPs that are hiring for these positions across the country. Now, as more box trucks roll in across the country to different domiciles in different cities and different states, obviously more DSPs are going to buy into this program. Amazon is going to continue to open it up to more and more people, and probably essentially the public. And as people have been DMing me, and if you even go look at the comments to the video, people are saying, you know what, Mark, less and less loads. The more these trucks pull into my domicile, the less loads that they're putting on the load board. All right, here's an Amazon DSP right here that's looking to hire for 26-foot box trucks. And this is an Amazon DSP for overnight. All right, overnight DSP. All right. Here's another one, Bear Down Logistics. They're paying $20 an hour. All right. This position is third shift position. Walk-in interviews every Tuesday, 9 to 1. They're out of Connecticut. Third shift. Here's all the specs for this job. All right. They're offering 401k, dental insurance, health, PTO, vision insurance. All right. These are DSPs. We know Amazon owns a plethora of health insurance companies. They went on a health insurance company buy in like 2017, 2018. The reason why they were buying these companies is so that they can offer benefits to their employees and to their contractors at a discounted rate. This was the reason back in 2017 and 2018 Amazon was buying all these companies. All right, let's continue to look. Here's an Amazon DSP in Erlanger, Kentucky. All right, they're looking for a non-CDL overnight 26-foot box truck. They're paying $20.50 an hour. Here it says right here, Amazon partner looking for qualified overnight route drivers. Our middle mile delivery associates strive to take care of our customers. Drivers, hold on, I got to move this stuff out the way. Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, shit. Drivers will deliver, God damn it. Drivers will deliver pallets of Amazon products overnight. Pallets of Amazon products overnight, driving a 26-foot box truck to post offices. All routes typically start after midnight and take 8 to 10 hours to complete. Come be a part of our team. Focus on a new way to do delivery. Full-time health benefits, incentives available from day one. Game changer. Flourishing and energetic atmosphere while delivering a safe and controlled vehicle. Blah, 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 blah. And then same thing. You're getting PTO from day one. 401k with the company match after 90 days, tuition reimbursement, paid training, tuition reimbursement through Next Mile program, which is an Amazon program, I'm assuming, incentive bonuses. All right, these are things that, and then it just goes on. As you can see, there's more DSPs that are hiring across the country. You got Phoenix here. They're paying for $19 an hour. They're offering you free shoes and blah, blah, blah. So these are all DSPs, guys. These are all DSPs that Amazon has rolled this out to already. So, you know, this is just information, guys. You know, I'm here, you know, when I get information, you know, and when people hit me up, and this was when I put this video out, it was a month ago. And if you Google middle mile route opportunity, there's still no information on the internet. There's no information. You can't find information on this. So this information that I put out is from an inside source. That's why I put the video out. And the proof is in the pudding. There's DSPs hiring. These trucks are showing up. All right. So me having this information and putting it out is just to forewarn people that, you know, that are running Amazon. Now, do I know if Relay is going to get phased out? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to get phased out. It may get phased out. It may not get phased out. That information, I don't know. But what I would do if Amazon Relay was your sole source of income and you were running it, I would definitely take this information serious. I wouldn't shun this information. I would take heed to it and keep it in the back of your mind and properly prepare for what may be to come, because they're not going to forewarn you. If they do phase it out, they're just going to phase it out. All right. But they are aggressively buying 26-foot box trucks, and they have DSPs hiring, paying hourly wages. All right. Now, let's say they don't phase it out. Then what's going to happen? It's just like people are saying in the comments of the video, and people are DMing me. All right. If Amazon has vested interest, right, into their own vehicles, all right, and then they have DSPs that are already under their umbrella that are buying into this program, they have vested interest, right? All right. The vested interest, the people that have vested interest are going to get the priority, meaning they're going to get the routes first. And then if there's stuff left over, then they'll probably relay it out. All right. So the bulk of the work is going to go to the Amazon vested contractors, which would be the DFPs and the AFPs, the same way they run the DSP and the AFP program. The people that have vested interests get first dibs. All right. So I don't know if they're going to ultimately phase out relay. I don't know. But if you're running relay, you may want to take heed to this information. I always say don't put all your eggs in one basket. Nothing stays the same forever. All right, Amazon is a business. They're going to do what's best for their business. It's obvious. It's out in the media that they are struggling with their 2-day commitment. You have to realize Amazon is the one who set the bar for the 2-day and the next day delivery. They set this bar years ago, right? And now they're struggling with it. All right, they're struggling with it. I ordered something last week, same day, right? It came the same day, but it didn't hit the window that they promised. It was a 2 to 6 window. It didn't come until 10 o'clock at night. All right, so they're struggling to hit these windows, and this may be, and they said it in the article that Freightways put out. They said it didn't have anything to do with the final mile. It said the whole issue with them not meeting their windows was all due. They admitted it was all due to the middle mile. So just something for you guys to take heed to. Not here to shatter anyone's future hopes or whatever, but man, information is information, so you can take it and do with it as you may. Tyrone Baxter, High Point, North Carolina, in the building. 5-star logistics. Amazon semi trucks are day cabs, so they are not going far, right? Those are all day cabs. Looks like relay was quick resolution. MMR was the end game. It may be. Not sure on that yet, but what I can assure you is that the MMRO program is real. It's real. So, if you do some research on Amazon, just research even the relay program. If you research the relay program, you'll see in the headline, Amazon quietly introduces relay. Everything they do it quietly. The reason why they're not going to put it out there in the public that they're doing is because they don't want to cause a hysteria. Right? They need the owner operators right now until they fully build up their fleet, right? Until they bring in enough DSPs to buy into the program, right? So as the trucks come in, the DSPs are buying in. They're probably going to open it up to more DSPs, and then eventually they'll probably open it up to the public. So if I was someone that was running that lane, I would definitely take heed to it and keep an open mind and be prepared for what's to come, and have something else and plan just in case. Either way, whether they phase it out or they don't phase it out. If they don't phase it out, that's going to be less opportunities on those load boards. So you're still going to have a supply of owner operators here with diminishing demand, because it's going to the contractors, the DSPs that have vested interest. They're buying into this. So they're going to hold precedence over an owner operator that hasn't bought into the program. So it is what it is. You got to take this information. All right. Pensacola in the building. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. There's plenty of DSPs in Chicago. There's DSPs all across the country. I have 3 cargo vans in a medium size that would be best route as far as the gigs or go share, whoever started up with. I saw a few of those trucks around Detroit, right? So yeah, so they're up, they're out. Just information, guys, to put out, guys. Just information to put out. All right, so let's get into this presentation for tonight. Shout out to everybody that's in the building tonight. All right, so why desperation induced focus may be the key to success for your box truck business. Now, you can utilize this for your business, your box truck business, your cargo van business, your semi truck business. You can use this presentation for your lemonade stand. All right, this can be applied to any business. Most of the times when I do these presentations, you can take a lot of this information and apply it to whatever it is you're doing. If you're doing gig work, you can take it and apply it to that as well. All right, you can take it to apply it to that as well. So real quick before we get into it, let's break down the definitions. All right, the definition for desperation: the feeling you have lost almost all hope or ability to reach a goal. You will do anything to achieve it. You will do anything to achieve it. Big Slick in the building, Philly in the building. All right, and then let's look at focus, a center of activity, attraction, or attention. All right, now you take these two things. All right, let's say you start a box truck business. All right, you want to start your box truck business. You saw one of these guys online and they told you they made $1 gazillion last week in a box truck. All right. And here's what sets apart the winners from the people who don't win. All right, you take desperation and you take focus, right, and you put them together. A person that is desperately focused is a dangerous person. A person who's focused, right, and their focus is induced and it's driven by desperation, that's a person that's dangerous. That's a person that's willing to do whatever it takes to win. Now, not everybody has desperation-induced focus, all right? And my desperation-induced focus, and I didn't even know I had desperation-induced focus, but what gave me desperation-induced focus from my early stages of entering into this space was back against the wall scenario. All right. I had nothing to lose because I had nothing coming in. I was up against a back against the wall situation. So that desperation to want to earn allowed me to focus solely on one thing. All right. Let's get into it. I'm going to make this quick, guys, because I'm really trying to cut my lives down. I'm really trying to cut them down. I like spending 3-4 hours with you guys, but I got to cut these lives down. So I'm going to get straight to the point. All right. I'm going to try to knock this out in 15 minutes. All right. Desperation-induced focus. All right. The ability to earn, desperate for success, desperate to grow, desperate to scale. All right. Desperate to earn. All right. A lot of people, well, let's start here. Me, and I'm going to do a compare and contrast. I'll utilize myself, all right, as an example. When I got started, I had nothing coming in. All right. And I know a lot of people come from different walks of life, different paths. But what I've noticed is that people that have back against the wall situations, humble beginnings, those people are a lot hungrier. They're a lot hungrier. All right. They're a lot hungrier. All right. So my desperation to want to bring in income, I believe, is what pushed me to success. One, I was desperate to earn. All right. I was in a situation where I had no money coming in. Right. I went to Craigslist to sell my CD tower back then. I had a 7-drawer CD burner and I needed some money. Right. I went to Craigslist to sell this thing and I happened to stumble across the moving and labor side and saw an ad of a person that put pickup truck will do small jobs. I saw that ad and I thought, I got a pickup truck. Throw an ad up here, not thinking nothing of it. Copied that ad, plagiarized that guy's ad, put it up there. 5-10 minutes later, got a call. Picked up a buddy and we were headed to the north side of Chicago to move this guy's mattress from one side of town to the other. All right. Within that day, I got a few more calls while I was out moving that mattress, move a couch, move other little things. Came home with a few $100s in my pocket, right? Duplicated that the next day and the next day and the next day, right? So now I figured out how to earn, right? But I didn't stop there, all right? I didn't stop there, all right? And I think people, when they figure something out, they think that's the golden ticket. It's not the golden ticket, All right. So now I saw that I could possibly turn this into something, but that desperation was there. I figured out how to earn, but that desperation was there to make something of myself was still there, right? Here I am, 29, 30, all right? Person in their 20s still trying to figure things out. And that was me, still trying to figure things out in my 20s. And now I'm approaching 30 and I hadn't figured things out yet. So I was desperate for something else outside of money. All right. I was desperate to figure out what my path was in life to be successful, right? Because I hadn't figured it out yet. All right. So this was a situation that God led me to, because I had no plans on going there on Craigslist that day to post an ad to do little hustle jobs with my pickup truck. I went there to sell my CD burner and hopefully I can get a few $100. All right. So now that I figured out a way to make money, I was still desperate for success. I needed to become something. I'm 29 going on 30, still living at the crib. The girl I was dating was giving me like, hey, if you still at the crib by the time you 30 and a half, yo, I'm not messing with you though, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I got the pressure, my pressure of being something, figuring out my path in life, right? So now I figured out how to earn. So how do I turn this into a success, all right? So after my days of working on this pickup truck, doing these odds and end moving jobs, right? I would come home and get on my computer and figure out how to turn this into a successful business. All right. Rent a truck. All right. Now I don't have to play Tetris anymore. I don't have to play Tetris putting this stuff into the back of the pickup truck. And I can also charge more now when I go rent this 16-foot box truck. I can get more accomplished in a shorter amount of time because playing Tetris is taking up too much time. Right. So now I'm able to knock out bigger jobs at a bigger dollar amount. All right. But guess what? The calls are still coming in. Now, I could have took those tens of thousands of dollars that I saved up, now running the 16-footer with my helper, right? Doing 3 moves a day at that time at $75 an hour, all right? And a $50 truck fee back in 2010. Since 2010, that's why those numbers are low. But those numbers were high because guess what? In 2010, I'm charging $75 an hour. I'm paying more than minimum wage to my helper. I'm paying him $10 an hour. Minimum wage back then was like $6 or something. So $10 a person is happy. Plus they're walking away with $60, $70 a day in tips. So, but I'm still getting calls. So now I'm still desperate for more success. The money is good. I'm saving up money, but now I want to grow more because those calls are coming in, right? So I go get another truck and I go throw 2 more guys in that truck. And then I go get another truck and throw 2 more guys. All right. I never got, and it's a word that I was about to say, but I want to talk about that later. It's a certain word. All right. If a person drops that word, I'll send them a trucker's headset. All right. It's something that most people get that I refuse to get. And that's why I continue. I was desperate for success. All right. And the success that I was desperate for, I didn't know what the peak of it was, and that was the driving, motivating factor that was pushing me to keep growing, because I had no ceiling. I was going to continue to come up with ideas and push myself to keep growing, because I was desperate to grow, desperate to scale. Listen, a lot of people that came, comfortable is right. Javon Jack, go ahead and hit my DM. Javon Jack. Hit my DM on Instagram and send me all your information. I'll send you a headset. It's going to come from an order from Amazon. They'll just drop ship it to you. Javon Jack was first, so he won. All right. Shout out to Mr. Javon Jack here. Javon Jack won. Word was comfortable. All right. But we're going to get into comfortability and complacency a little later. All right. So, desperate to continue to grow, desperate to scale. I think that's where a lot of people dropped the ball at, unfortunately, last year. And I hate to keep using last year as an example, but last year is such a great example. All right. You know, when you're entering something, any business, I don't care what business you're doing, box truck, cargo van, lemonade stand, I don't care. You know, it's a different ball game when you're trying to build something with nothing. All right, that desperation induced focus you have when you have nothing. I'm talking about you trying to build a business with nothing. Nothing. The focus that person has is going to be different, all right, than a person who was given something. That's why you see a lot of these rich kids that inherit their parents' businesses. When their parents pass away, they all drive the business into the ground. I like the scale, right, of a child who inherits a business that is able to keep the business and grow the business versus a child who inherits a business that their parents built or a parent built, right? The child that fails and just throws the business and kills the business, you're going to see a lot more of that than a child that inherits a business and can keep the business going and even grow the business further. I know plenty of businesses here, right, that, the parents died, restaurants. Like, I'm not going to name drop any because there's some people in here from the crib, and I don't know, you might be related to some people. I don't know who's watching, but there's a lot of business I know, especially restaurants, where kids inherited them and they drove them into the ground, right? Because they didn't have to work for that. All right. When you don't work for something, you don't put the effort and you don't put the care into it like a person who started it grassroots, bootstraps, with nothing. All right. Same thing with a person who invest into a business or starts a business and they say they starting with their savings. Man, I've heard stories of people last year who started a box truck business with their 401k. Some people went into their savings. I have a couple people that invested and started a box truck business for their children. All right. It's a different level of desperation induced focus when you are investing in something that you've worked hard and you're taking your savings, you're taking your 401k out to take a risk. That focus is going to be different. It's not going to be the same as, let's say, a person who ain't got nothing to lose. It's almost the same, but it's a little bit different. Then you got the person who's given money that didn't take the time to do the research, didn't take the time to do the due diligence. They just looking for that quick flip. They looking to take that 20 and turn it into 40 and turn that 40 into 80. They don't have that desperation induced focus. They not focused at all. All right. A person who is desperate to achieve something and that focus is induced with desperation is a dangerous person. All right. Focus and desperation combined is like kryptonite for an entrepreneur. And the entrepreneurs that never lose focus are the people that are, even at times of adversity, when industries are changing, when technology is coming in, these are the entrepreneurs. These are the entrepreneurs that are able to reinvent themselves. All right. Reinvent themselves, transition. Nothing stays the same forever. You guys hear me say that all the time. Nothing stays the same forever. You have to be able to transition. All right. You have to keep an open mind to know that, for example, if Amazon does phase out relay, I have to create a plan now. I don't want to be left holding the bag if they just do it on a whim. I want to already have something up in place ready to go. You don't want to be that guy. Let's keep moving. So I'm going to cut these lives down. Desperation induced focus helps. All right, biggest motivator, makes you fearless, makes you take risks. All right, so I believe desperation induced focus is my biggest motivator. It was my biggest motivator in my early days of entrepreneurship. Is my biggest motivator now. All right, now the desperation to earn, I don't have that desperation anymore. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. All right, that desperation I had to earn in 2009 and 2010 is not, I've earned. All right. So the desperation that I have for motivation now is to be successful. All right, whatever I invest in, even the stuff that I do take losses in, I still want them to succeed. So I focus. Anybody that knows me knows that when I when I say I'm going to do something, if it's a business, it has my full undivided attention. I'm sitting at the computer all day. Nothing else really matters because I'm desperate to succeed. I'm desperate to make this thing a success. All right. Box truck people, cargo van people, whoever, people that invested into things last year. In general, I just think people lack focus. If a person does see a little light, they're building a business, right? And they see a little light, they instantly lose that focus. Or they see a little income coming in, they instantly lose that focus and want to go party and want to go take that trip and want to go do and we're going to get into that. That's comfortability, that's complacency. Let me not digress. Let me keep moving forward. So you guys got to find your motivation, all right? And my motivation has always been desperation to succeed and earn, no longer earn, desperation to succeed, be successful in what I want to do. A good example, because I know a lot of you guys don't know me personally. Let's take something that you guys have seen me build. Let's take this YouTube channel, for instance. I came on in April of 2022. I haven't been on in a year yet. Look how much content that I put up in 9-10 months. All right. Look how much content I put up. Go back and look at from April how I was dropping content, the quality of the content, the information of the content. All right. Did I stop? No, I said, you know what? This thing is working. Let's continue to grow it. So what did I start doing? I started doing live streams, right? I started with 1 night a week, went to 2 nights a week, went to 3 nights a week, right? I continued to grow it. All right. As I continue to put more effort in and focus on it, like, listen, putting out these videos, right? It takes time. All right. It takes time. I'm a wealth of knowledge when it comes to this industry, right? But recording the content, editing the content, sometimes I outsource, right? Sometimes I outsource. I take a page out of Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Work Week, because I value my time, right? So sometimes I do outsource, but the time that it takes to shoot the content, to edit the content, all that is valuable time, right? And it's not the return on investment really isn't there from a monetary aspect. But for example, look at how I grew the channel. All right, there's people that started before me in the space that haven't amassed the following or even put out the content, the amount of content that I put out. I take it serious. I said I'm going to do a Sunday night. I'm here every Sunday night. I said I'm going to do a Tuesday night. I did 20 episodes. All right. When I first started doing live, I didn't get discouraged. All right. Like any business, people get discouraged at the beginning and then they give up. I didn't give up. It was 6 people looking at me. All right. I've had lives where I had almost 200 people. All right. So I didn't give up. I kept scaling the channel. All right. I kept scaling it. Then I said, all right, we're going to do 2 nights. I saw, it's just like what I talked about last week in business, right? Capitalizing, finding a void in your industry, right? Solving the problem and then capitalizing on it. There's plenty of voids in the trucking industry. I gave 2 voids last week. One of the voids, I came and made up I problem solved that void on the show. I problem solved to the point where I'm like, damn, you know what? I think I might want to do that on myself, and I may do it. All right. So, finding a void in your industry, solving that problem and capitalizing on it. I saw a problem on YouTube. I saw that there were a lot of people that were exiting, a lot of content creators that built up this hype and hysteria. When things didn't work out for them, they left people hanging, right? I'm still here. I saw the void. So I took advantage of the situation. I saw people needed someone to go for questions. So I came on a second night. November came around, peak season. Came on a third night. And I'm still here. All right. So look how I grew the channel. Look at the time and the effort that I put in. And the reason why I did it wasn't for monetary. I don't have a paid mentorship, right? I just did a mentorship earlier this month for 15 people that starts this Sunday for free. I'm sponsoring 15 people for free. So I'm not making any money. Yeah, YouTube pays a little money. It's costing me money to do this. So what is Mark chasing? All right, I'm using this for an example because this is something that you guys have physically seen me build. What is Mark chasing with this YouTube channel? To make it the best YouTube channel in this space. That's what Mark is chasing. I want my channel to be the best. The best. I want to offer the best content. I want to be the best version of myself. Every time I come on here, I take my time to create these lives to present it to you. And that's how you have to look at your business. Box truck business, cargo van business, lemonade stand. It don't matter. Each time you step foot in your truck that day, even if what you do is redundant, every day, make sure you be the best and you do the best at it, and don't stop learning. Make sure you want to be the best. If you're running final mile in a logistics company, man, make sure that your crew is the best in that warehouse. So when opportunities do arise, when routes do arise that are better routes, hey, you can put the word in. All right. So this is a great example. You know what I'm saying? This is a great example for you guys. You guys actually see something that I've built and I'm continuing to build. YouTube says, oh, well, it takes about 1.5 years for a person to get 1,000 subscribers. And that's putting in hard work. I put in a lot of work to build a channel, and I continue to put this work in to build a channel to give people the best information. It's something that I'm chasing. I'm chasing that success. All right. I'm desperately focused on making this channel the best channel in this space. All right. Fearless. Desperation induced focus. It makes you fearless. Listen, when I was starting, there wasn't nothing I wouldn't do. It's things that I did then that I wouldn't do now because I know better. All right. I kind of knew better then. Right. But the money, I wasn't turning away no money because I needed it. Right. And I was willing to do anything because that desperation conquered that fear. All right. And that desperation made me go into the next one, which is take a bunch of risk. Listen, we were hoisting sofas, in situations where sofas wouldn't fit. You got people that order these 92, 93-inch sofas, right? And they don't fit, right? And they don't fit, and they don't fit, and they don't do the measurements before they order these things for delivery, and then they get them there. They're like, I got a patio. Can you guys hoist it up 3 flights up the patio from the 3rd to the 3rd floor, whatever? I would do goofball stuff like that, right? Dangerous, no permit. You're hoisting stuff here. You got to have a permit because what if we use ratchet straps, but what if the strap breaks? Let's just say the strap breaks. Somebody walks under, the couch falls on their head. There's no permit. You got to have scaffolding. You got to block stuff off. Man, I was doing it, whatever. Now, I'm not doing that now. All right, hoisting the couch up. If it don't fit, it don't fit. It's got to go back. I'm not doing it. Well, they said they'll pay this much. I don't care. I'm not taking that risk now, right? But these were things that I was willing to do when I was first getting started, all right? Taking risk in other things that I'm investing into in business that I'm starting now, yeah. But a person who's an entrepreneur that's getting started, that has induced focus, they're going to take plenty of risk, all right? They're going to take plenty of risk. Their motivation and the desperation that they have to earn, right? All right. A person that's desperate to earn is not turning nothing away. They're going to figure out a way to make it happen. All right. And then a person who's ultimately just an overall great business person who sees the future, they're going to also be desperate for that success as well. All right. So complacency and comfortability is what we talked about earlier. And this is the opposition to desperation induced focus. And I think this is where a lot of people drop the ball. I think a lot of people, and I might hurt a few people's feelings here. Well, hopefully not nobody in here, but a lot of people get comfortable too quick. A lot of people start comfortable. A lot of people start complacent. Even when they, when you see a little money, that don't mean stop. I said this before. Look, it took a long time for me to buy a luxury vehicle. It took a long time for me to take a trip. It took a long time for me to do a lot of things that my labor allowed me to do, right? And even when I started doing these things These things were things that people said, Mark, you can take a trip, Mark, it doesn't, if you want to buy the car, you can afford it, you can buy the car, you can afford it, you know what I'm saying? So I was driven by the business and making the business a success. People get comfortable. A lot of people I saw last year, they were making that money when they first got in, and they just thought this was going to be right. And then they were redundant about it. They weren't looking to see how they could make this business better, which is ultimately why a lot of these guys got caught up and got left holding the bag. All right, they came in, they wanted to duplicate that same process day in and day out, and never went back to the drawing board, never went back to the table to see how they could make their business better. They didn't look into the future. They didn't do none of that. They didn't do none of that. They got comfortable. They got comfortable. Look at all these big corporations that were winning for years. I had a conversation with someone earlier. Like, listen, our parents grew up in an era where technology didn't move as fast as it moves now, right? So with technology moving as fast as it does now, you have to be prepared for anything. You cannot get comfortable. Comfortability, you can't do anymore. Our parents could go, Papa could go to work and work at the steel mill or work at Ford or work at GM, work at a plant or something. Moms could stay at home and raise the kids. Pops would make enough money, let's say, to take care of a family of 4, right? And stay at that job for 30, 35 years till retirement. And nothing threatened that job as long as Pops, right, didn't screw the job up. He was guaranteed to stay there 30, 35 years, retire, get his 401k, pension, whatever, and whatever, go retire in Arizona or Florida or whatever. Send the kids through college, the American dream, right? And had nothing threatened that, right? Now, the way technology is moving and at the pace it's moving, nothing's guaranteed. You can graduate college and go get a job, but 30 years down the line, your job isn't guaranteed. You can enter into a field where technology can replace the human element. You can enter into a field where technology can automate that lane, or ultimately reduce your workload, which would ultimately reduce your income, right? So the way technology is moving now versus then, you can't get comfortable. You can't get complacent, whether you're working for a job or even if you're a business owner. All right, business owner, for trucks, we're looking at autonomy. We're looking at fully autonomous vehicles. We're looking at semi-autonomous vehicles. I talked the other day about the brokers. All right, AI is going to take over the brokers. It's going to take over the brokers. You have digital load boards now. Uber Freight is a digital load board. All right, and there's other digital load boards. RXO's new load board, it's digital. All right, code is going back and forth with you. Code. All right, the code is setting the prices. If you counter, the code already has the mathematical coding equation to counter it back and it either accept it or deny it. All right, it doesn't take a human. Eventually, more companies are going to convert over to this digital load board platform. So the brokers are at risk of losing their jobs. So those days that they had, or the wild, wild west, those days are coming to an end. All right. So you can't get complacent. You gotta know what the future holds. Comfortability means you stop growing. All right. It means you stop taking risk. Can't stop taking risk. You gotta continue to do research in whatever field you're doing. All right. Just because you drive a box truck doesn't mean that has to be your end all be all. All right. It doesn't mean that, you can't find a void in that industry and solve that problem, right? And capitalize on it. Don't get stuck in that truck. Create room. Comfortability creates room for your competition. If you're in a business that's highly competitive, all right, you can't get comfortable. All right, you can't get comfortable in nothing, because guess what? The same induced focus that you had when you were first starting out, when you were hungry for success and you were hungry to earn, it's always someone getting spawned. It's always someone that's up under you that has that same desperation induced focus, and they looking to take your spot. They're looking to take your spot. If you're running a final mile route and you got the best route in that logistics warehouse, it's somebody that's coming up that's looking to take that spot. All right. Same thing with any other business where it's competitive. You got to make sure you stay on top of your game. What else real quick? And then I'm going to take the Q&A. Avoid getting comfortable by creating new goals. Creating new goals keeps you focused on the future and achieving those new goals. I'm always researching things. I'm always looking to invest in things. I'm always looking to open up my lines of revenue and multiply them every day. Every day I'm brainstorming with my friends, my homies. Yeah, we crack jokes, but we ain't lost focus. All right. The focus is continue to earn. The focus is providing opportunities. Listen, if one homie falls down, they got other homies to pull them up. Why? Because we're all talking about building businesses. Even if we're not building these businesses together, we're brainstorming with each other and we're pushing each other up the ladder. All right. We're not like crabs in the barrel. I don't mess with people that's like crabs in the barrel. So create new goals and focus on those new goals. Try new things with your business. The more you try new things, the more risks you take, the more you're going to be focused. If you try new things, you create new things, you're taking risks with your business, is going to allow you to continue to focus to make your business a success and challenge yourself more. I don't think enough people challenge themselves. They don't challenge themselves. They fall into this complacency and they thinking this is gonna, whatever it is that they're making, they just think it's gonna last forever. And that's not the case. You got to continue to take risks. You got to continue to challenge yourself. I challenge myself every single day. Even with this YouTube thing, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can be challenging as far as the time that it takes. And sometimes, dealing with some people that I have to deal with online. Sometimes I'll be like, man, the hell with this. I'm over here doing me. I don't got to do it. So I challenge myself to get on here and make my channel the best channel in this space. So with that, I said I was going to keep it short. So I did cut it down. We're going to do a quick Q&A. We're going to do a quick Q&A, and then I'm going to drop this link. If anybody want to come up, they can come up. And then I'm going to get out of here. Pippi, what is going on? What's your Instagram? Mark the Mentor. Relax, settle, comfortable. Hit the like button. Yeah. Any questions? Q&A. I'm gonna drop this link real quick too, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Shout out to all the MGMs in the building. Yeah. There go the link. If anybody want to come up and holler at your boy, you can come up. Any Q&A. Anybody got any questions? I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability. Shout out to Kirk in the building. What's going on, Mr. Kirk? Let me see here. Any Q&A? Nothing? Going once? Y'all did in here tonight. Nobody want going twice? Any tips on managing money coming in from cargo van business that's starting up? Any tips on managing money? Managing money, yeah, I mean, managing money is the same way you're gonna manage it for any other business, man. You're going to take it. First of all, you gotta know how to. The issue I think a lot of people have in this logistics industry, as far as trucks, cargo vans, is they don't know how to pay themselves. All right, you gotta know what it costs to run your cargo van. First of all, that's the biggest issue when I talk to people. You got to know what it costs to run your business. All right. Then you have to pay yourself. All right. Make sure, okay, let's say you earn 5,000 for the week, right? And after all your fixed costs and all your variable costs, right, it costs you 4,000 to operate. All right. You got $1,000 left, right? Still haven't paid yourself. All right. Now you got to figure out what you're going to pay yourself. All right. And then you have to make sure that there's something left in the business for cash flow. And I think ultimately knowing how to pay yourself, right, and making sure that the business can sustain is going to ultimately help you manage your money. Now, if you're a small independent guy with just you and your one band, I would suggest you get some type of software. All right, you can get QuickBooks. There's a bunch of other third-party software. There's apps on the App Store, the Google Play Store, that can help you manage your money as well. If you have a budget for it, you have a CPA, you can get a CPA firm to handle your accounting as well. Just make sure that you pay yourself and make sure that the business has cash flow to help the business sustain. And don't initially don't go out and start buying things frivolously, because you're going to need that cash flow. You're going to need to build that cash flow up for unforeseen incidences that may occur down the line. All right. Reinvest back into your business as well. It's definitely a jean jacket. I'm not bringing back the 80s. Not bringing back the 80s, man. I got a closet full of different jackets, man. Different, jean jackets, man. Hey, man, jean jackets never went nowhere. They never went nowhere, man. They never went nowhere. Any sauce on trucks, where to get them cheap? Personal owners. Penske has some cheap trucks right now. They're CDL trucks. I haven't looked on Penske's website in a while, but I know they had some cheap CDL trucks the last time I looked. So Penske, I would go on Facebook Marketplace. I would go on Offer Up, and I would go on Commercial Truck Trader and see if you can find someone that has a truck that they're selling on a one-on-one personal basis. As far as corporate, Penske. And if you got cash on hand, you can always do the budget auction. You can always do the budget auction through TAC. That's probably where you're going to get the best bang for your buck, but you got to have that cash on hand. No problem. Hey, Kirk, if you still on, man, I'll drop that link if you want to come up, Kirk. Captain Kirk, if you want to come up, you can come up. I'll drop it again. If not, I'm going to retire for the evening. Our CDLs too different from normal on fuel. Yeah. A lot of those CDL box trucks, they have 2 tanks. Some non-CDLs, I believe, have 2 tanks, but a lot of those CDL box trucks have 2 tanks. So you're going to spend a little bit more money. '80s is the best. Definitely '80s and the best. I was 2 months away from being a 79 baby. I was born February 1980, so I missed 79 by 2 months. Well, I would have been a 70s baby. February 1980. How much is a good amount of cash to put back into the business? I mean, that's up to you. All right. So same example. Let's say you gross $5,000 for a week, right? I'll tell you what I would do. Let's say you gross $5,000 for the week and it costs you $4 to run. You got $1,000 left, right? Now you got to figure out how much I'm going to put back into the business, and I got to pay myself. Me personally, I would put the whole $1,000 back into the business, and that would just be one of those weeks I wouldn't pay myself. But everybody's situation is different. let's say a situation where you got to pay yourself, then you need to figure out how much you need, the very minimum amount, because $1,000 really isn't even a lot to float that business. Anything could happen. You could be OTR and you could be in the middle of nowhere and the truck could break down. That tow might cost you $1,000. All right. So now you spent $1,000 on the tow and you don't even have the cash flow to get the truck fixed. All right. So, everybody's situation is different. If you're, it's really up to you. You know what I'm saying? It's really up to you. But let's say 5,000, 1,000 was left. Me personally, I'll put that whole 1,000 back into the business. I would make sure that I build up enough cash flow in the business to sustain the business, that I feel comfortable that if anything happens, the business can sustain, the business has the money. And I think initially that's another issue that I think a lot of people struggle with initially when they're starting a business. They initially start taking the proceeds from the business and paying themselves with it, not knowing that they're robbing from the sustainability of the business. You have to build that cash flow up to the point where you're comfortable that if anything happens, all right, you're comfortable that that business has enough cash flow to sustain. Comfortability to individual could be different. It could be 5,000 for one person. It could be 10,000 for one person. It could be 20,000 for one person. It all depends on you. I know everybody's situation is different though. So if you're in a situation where you have other streams of income coming in and you're not solely reliant on the income initially when you're starting out from your box truck business, I would initially invest everything back into that business, especially if the profit margins and the profit was small initially. Just let that money circulate back into the business so you can build up a nice little nest egg so that if anything arises in the future, you'll be comfortable. You don't have to worry about it. Is TAC a reliable auction? Never used them. Never used TAC. I've never purchased anything from an auction, but I know TAC is who Budget uses. That's one of the auction houses, online auction houses that Budget uses to sell their trucks. And Kenneth, that all depends on how much you're grossing. Some people run and don't even net $1,000 or $2,000 a week. Some people operate at a loss. So it can't really answer that question, because it all depends on what you net. If you net $2,000, then you can put 1,000 back into the business and pay yourself 1,000. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on what you net. It all depends on what you net. Do you pay yourself every week? It depends. Depends on what business we're talking about. If I'm running a business and I can't pay myself, listen, I've had plenty weeks in the trucking business, not in the moving business. All right, because the moving business is a cash on hand business. Once the job is complete, that money, is there. Credit card. All right. With the trucking business, because it's an account-based business, final mile, and you have claims and things of that nature, a lot of these companies don't pay you. A lot of these companies have waiting periods and things of that nature. There's been plenty of weeks where I haven't been able to pay myself. There's been periods of times where, if we lose an account, for instance, there's times where, the business can't sustain, but I got the moving business to kind of float, the trucking business at times. So not every week. I've had plenty of weeks where I wasn't able to pay myself with my trucking business. It's just a part of the business. It's not going to always be peaches and cream, but when things are on the up and up, then yeah, pay yourself every week. I really don't pay myself. I keep more money in the business than just pay what I need to pay. So here's something. Here's a gem that my accountant told me many, many years ago. When your business does see levels of success, all right. So at my peak, when I was running 15 trucks, I was grossing about $90,000 a month. All right. During that peak period when I was making that money, my accountant told me to pay myself handsomely. All right. So when you're making your money, you do want to pay yourself handsomely, depending on how your business is structured. All right. So if you're making X amount of money, you're netting X amount of money, then yeah, pay yourself handsomely. If you're in a situation where your business really isn't hitting home runs, right? Like that, and it makes more sense to keep the money in the business, so the business can sustain, then yeah, you can pay yourself less, keep more money in the business so the business can sustain. That's a good thing about being a business owner. Now, there was times where, the business did kind of see, a little turbulence, you know what I'm saying? And then I would, advise my accountant, like, I gotta pay myself less salary. He said, well, you can't, you can get away with it, up to a certain degree, but you can't keep fluctuating your salary like that. But a little gem that my accountant did give me: if your business is hitting the home runs, you're making a lot of money, then you can pay yourself handsomely. And when I was paying myself handsomely, during the peak, when we had like 90 grand coming in a month, a lot of that handsomely money that I was paying myself was getting ate up in taxes. So if I pay myself, at one point I was in the trucking company. It was one point where I was paying myself like 7-8 grand a week. Right, about 3,000 of that was getting ate up in taxes. So, it all depends on the level. It all depends on the level of where your business is at. You know what I'm saying? Determines how you pay yourself and how much you pay yourself. Now, when you get to a certain point and you got a CPA, then they're going to tell you how to finagle things for tax purposes so you can get those maximum write-offs. But that's a whole nother laugh. That's a whole nother laugh. That's a whole nother laugh. I really don't want parents to keep more money. Dedicated lanes or self-authority? You asking me? I've always had my own authority. Final mile is my specialty in moving. You brought that pressure tonight. Appreciate it. Which way to go with 3 cargo vans? If I had 3 cargo vans getting into the industry right now, I would just go Office Depot Staples. I could be saying that because that's what I know. But I also say that because it's dedicated. I don't have to worry about what those vans are going to do every day. I also understand my market. I also understand that Office Depot has the school contracts. They have the county contracts here. They have the county hospitals. They have all the city schools. So I know that volume of work is there. All right. Because I've seen it. So that's what I would focus on. And then in the evenings, it's just like I tell everybody else, now you have the flexibility, you have the opportunities to run vans with gig work. So when those routes are done, 2, 3, even as late as 4 in the afternoon, you still have opportunity with vans to increase your revenue by running gig apps. And there's some gig apps that are just going to always have work. Amazon Flex has blocks. You know what I'm saying? You might get Roadie might get slow, Kiri might get slow. Some of these other apps might get slow, but you also have apps that just have work. So I would dedicate my vans out for Office Depot Staples or a medical supply contract, delivering walkers, canes, wheelchairs, things of that nature. Those two lanes, those two opportunities, there's always going to be work. Office supplies, right, through Office Depot and Staples, and medical supplies. Now, there's other lanes you can run. You can do OTR, partials, or like Axel does, you can do expedited. I don't do expedited, but from a final mile perspective, those are what the 2 things that I would do if I were entering into the space now with 3 cargo vans. I'm new in the business and pay myself less until I pick up. I think that is a great way to get started. I think paying yourself less initially and paying the business more, building up that nest egg in the business, understanding that the business needs that cash flow to sustain, I think that's great. As long as you're paying yourself enough to meet your personal living standards at the bare minimum, then I think that's a good practice to have to put the priority uh, uh, with the business as far as paying yourself, paying the business first, paying them more actually, and taking less for yourself, just maintaining with the bare necessity. I think that's the best way to go when you're starting out. Hey Mark, I'm really interested in getting into this business. What do you suggest I do to investigate the potential for my business opportunities in my city, Rochester, New York? I'm thinking Sprinter. It's up to you. I mean, you can do final mile parcel, you can do expedited, you can do over the road. There's a lot of opportunity. You're in a large state with a big population, so I know there's plenty of opportunities to do final mile parcel delivery, probably in with companies that that may be local in your area and that I'm not even aware of. But with a Sprinter, you got a 2500, a 1500, 3500. What type of Sprinter do you have? Me personally, I'm going to always go the final mile route. I like dedicated. I don't like, me personally, this is me personally, I've never been a fan of the low board. I like my vehicles, I like to know what they're doing day in and day out. Knowing what they're doing Monday through Friday is what I like. Some people like the over the road thing because they don't like the constant stop in the final mile or the constant lift in the final mile. But me personally, I would look into a company called Capstone. I would look into a company called Waco. I would look into a company called T-Force as far as dedicated final mile parcel on the smaller scale. Like with T-Force, you got Granger, you got Office Depot, and then they have a plethora of other accounts that you can deliver small parcel pieces for, and they pay at per piece. They don't pay per stop, they pay per piece. They have some dedicated guaranteed routes on the smaller side for retail with T-Force as well. Capstone and Waco share staples in certain regions. You also have Lasership on track. Now Lasership on track, it's like 50-50. I've never ran with that company, so I really can't give you a review on them from dealing with them, but 50% of the people I talk to say it's a great company. The other 50% hate it. All right. But as far as T-Force, Waco isn't in my market. T-Force is. I've dealt with T-Force many years. I've had my ups and downs with them when we ran with them in the past, but that Office Depot contract, if you get the right route and you run it officially, and that's an account you can make up to $400 a day, and you can be done by 2-3 o'clock, which will leave your van open to other opportunities in the late afternoon, early evening to make more money. I haven't bought a truck yet, but I'm 60 years old with a son, so I need to stay close to home. Thanks, brother, for your insight. All right, no problem. So yeah, if you're 60 years old and you may want to, I don't know what your physical, you're 60, so I know you ain't trying to really do too much lifting. I would look for something that may require less physical work. And if you don't mind doing physical work, the smaller parcel package delivery may be up your alley. With Office Depot and Staples, it will involve a lot of paper, a lot of reams of paper. So it may be some constant bending over, loading up that mag liner with reams of paper. So that's something to think about. And if that's too much for you, then maybe over the road where they're going to be loading the pallets onto the Sprinter, maybe that may be your best option. I don't know. But do the research on all of them, and whatever fits you best, that's what you probably should go with. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? If not, I'm gonna skedaddle. I talked to Kurt earlier. I told him I was gonna drop the link to see if he wanted to get on. I guess he probably fell asleep because he said he was on the road. I think he was at a truck stop in his truck when I talked to him. Let me drop it one more time. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. I'll be back on Sunday night. I'm gonna do a cooler topic Sunday night, man. You guys don't be ready for these intense mind bending conversations. These mind bending conversations about desperation induced focus. Some of y'all ain't desperate, man. There's a lot of y'all out there that just grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth, man. You ain't never had to, you know what I'm saying? You ain't never had to work hard. I'm just joking, man. Hold on, we got Kurt calling in. Kurt, what up?
You hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you, man.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? You in your truck? Getting to the money?
Yes, sir. Hold on a minute. I think my mic is
What's wrong? You hear a delay or something? Or you hearing yourself?
You hear me?
We hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I think. All right, man. Let me do this without this. Hold on a minute. Yeah.
I hear you
All
playing
right, you
you
hear me now?
yeah, I hear you. Are you playing the live on another device? I hear it echoing in the back.
Hold on a minute. All right, that's what it is.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
All right.
Where you at?
Same old, man. You know what it is. You know me, man. I'm not a technology guy. You know what I mean?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Where you at right now? You in Arkansas?
I'm in the great state of Texas, man.
Oh, you made it down to Texas. Where you at? The border, like Texarkana or something?
Nah, I passed Texarkana. I'm like next to Tyler, Texas.
Tyler, Texas. Oh, you passed Texarkana. What's
Yeah, I
going
got
on,
like
man? What's going on
I
with
made
this?
it all the way to you know. Man, I'm telling you, man, this box truck thing, man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. I'm telling you, I'm coming with a live Sunday. I'm telling you, man, people gonna wet their pants when I'm talking about this because I think people need to air this, man. Like, there are so many money that people lost coming in this business. I think a lot of people think this business was a tryout,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people learned their lesson the hard way. You know, but before I even talk about that, man, I see you were talking about the blues. I call those the blues, you know.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
showcasing the new fleet from Amazon.
Oh, hey man.
Yeah,
A lot of people left after I showed that, man. They didn't want to hear my presentation. They heard that Amazon news, man. They got up out of here, man. They had to go figure some things out and get some things together, man, because
yeah.
it's coming, man. I know a lot of people don't,
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people hate accepting change, and a lot of people hate accepting information that may be
Mm-hmm.
damaging to their earning potential, but it is what it is. See, I don't get upset when people don't respond when I put out information because I've been through this before. I went through this with the whole peak season thing, and
Yeah.
here's something else that I'm telling you is going to happen, and I know people are going to take this information, take it for granted, and then it's going to be a whole bunch of like the complaining that you see now from people as far as the rates and things like that. You're going to see that same complaining with the Amazon, whether they phase it out or they don't phase it out. If they phase it out, people are going to have a fit, and then as more trucks start coming into these different domiciles, you're gonna see less and less work on the load board, right? Because they're gonna start giving those runs to the DSPs, right? Because they got the vested interest. So it
Yeah.
is what it is, man. I'm just a messenger, man. You know, I don't even run Amazon. I'm just a messenger, man. I'm just a
Yeah,
messenger, man.
a lot of people are not gonna want to accept the truth, but it is a reality that's coming. And I think you know, as I do in my research, I find that some of the most YouTubers that I find on YouTube and Instagram, because I go on Instagram and I was, doing my thing on Instagram. One of the thing that I find that is a majority is uh people it's like the people with the easiest and shortcut and the most incompetent way of making money are the
Hmm.
ones with the high subscribers.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So people are not gonna gravitate to the truth because to them they think that there's something out there that you don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They think that there's a way that you don't, you guys don't see that yet,
Hmm.
And so a lot of times I go on Instagram and I see people. I saw a couple people this week, 200 subscribers, already telling people about mentorship and telling people, come and let me show you how to get rental.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Why are we not promoting ownership in the black community? Why are we not telling people, we make all these talk, oh yeah, well, I'm trying to break this generational curse. Yeah, I'm not trying to live like, my the people before us. But yet when you look at this culture, all it promotes is all these temporary success, and none of it don't even come with ownership.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, get in the box truck business, rent a truck. Yeah, go buy a car, but lease it. Don't finance it. Don't save your money up and put a big deposit down so you can have the title. You get what I'm saying? It's all about. I saw one guy on the Instagram. Why buy a house? Why buy a car? Why buy these things when you can just rent this and rent that? And you get what I'm saying? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But we live in a culture. I guess that's what they want to hear. But it is what it is. But people got to wake up and realize that if you want to be business owners and leave a legacy behind, you got to focus on ownership. I always said in my life, start with a renter truck. I'm not telling people don't start.
Hmm.
I said it all the time. I told that guys come to me and they want to know what type of truck to buy. They want to know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What year to buy, what size, the dimension. And I say, okay, this, and okay, while they're looking at truck and getting pre-approved and all that stuff, they jump in a rental truck and they started to run around and feel, get their feet wet.
Hmm.
And then boom, by the time 3 weeks go by, they get their own trucks and now they transition over into their own trucks.
Hmm.
But most people think that you can make, you know, famous YouTuber said that he spent $200,000 in a rental truck. Crazy. Over $200,000 in a rental truck. We could have buy two Enos. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's crazy. And I have nothing to show 2 years later. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care. I will. I look, man. I buy my stuff. I finance my stuff. I don't believe in that temporary stuff. I don't know. It's not a route that I decided to take. I don't know.
Yeah. I think like what you say. I started the same way renting, but back then it was a
Mm-hmm.
different ball game. The rates weren't inflated then, and the cost of entry now compared to then is just two different. It's two different ball games. I think now, I said something the other day, and I think it might have went over people's heads. I think, you know, I think this has become an industry where, the people who got in early adopters, got the most out of this industry. I think this industry is definitely transitioned, and it's an industry now that if you're entering into this space, I guess the box truck space from a 26-foot aspect, it's an advanced business that you're entering. You can't enter it in with a naive novice mind state, and that learning curve that, like, say I went through, and let's say you went through back then, where you had the flexibility of time on your side because the cost wasn't really that bad to kind of learn and bump your head along the way. Like, people that are entering into this space now, they don't have that luxury of time on their side because the cost of entry from the initial beginning is very, 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 very expensive. And I think a lot of the people that are entering into this space now, they don't have um, enough capital to float them through the learning phase to even get to a point where they can even think about seeing any level of success. A lot of people, man, they don't even last a month.
Yeah.
They don't even last a month because their capital dries out. Their
Yeah,
capital
because
dries out.
you gotta remember, you need at least $10,000 in reserve to start any business, especially when you're running a business that is not only one, it's fuel consuming. It's number one, the trucking industry is time consuming, and it's a consumption of a lot of different costs that you got to run. You get what I'm saying? So you got the fuel cost, you got your operating costs. You might have to stay at a hotel. You take a shower. You get what I'm saying? You got to eat a certain way. All that stuff is a cost that go through the company. So I don't think people put in consideration when they're coming out here to start a business how much it's really going. I go on YouTube and see a lady. She had she had one truck. She had her husband get up to do the pre-trip, start the truck, the motor blow. She's out of business. She was on making a video, was crying. Why? Because she didn't have that capital. You get what I'm saying? People come to me all the time. Yeah, I want to get in business. Okay, cool. Let's go. And put it in a truck. Do come. No money. You get what I'm saying? Or you want to be a business owner, or you want to be or you want to be a truck driver? Because there's two different things. A business owner, you have to be financially ready for this, because it's not a joke. Like, you gotta have that capital put down, and there's no way you can tell me that you can start a business with $5,000 and you're gonna come out here and last for a month. It's not gonna happen.
So
The
where do you
internet
think the disconnect is? Because I think there was a time where you could get into this space with limited access to capital, with very limited resources pertaining to money versus now. So where do you think the transition happened, where people are still having that mindset? Is it the content creators that are still pushing that narrative? You think so?
Well, so let me give you an idea. When I purchased my first truck, I get it at a 5.5% interest rate. I put $5,000 down for the truck and the insurance. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My truck had 5,000 mile on it, and it was $75,000. It was a 2018 Eno with. It was a demo truck. You know, the truck they drive around
They
and
were
show as a
driving
demo.
around, yeah.
We're talking about my first truck. My capital to run that truck at that time in the state of Pennsylvania, in the state of Jersey at the time where I was, I only had to have about $4,000 because I was running out of Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
But I was going to New York, Connecticut. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're talking about 4 years ago. Fast forward to the pandemic hit. People jump in with that same concept, think that they can get a 5.5% interest rate. You was on my live, right? You heard when I said that people were financing truck and paying for $70,000-$80,000 truck. They were paying over $125,000, and a guy was in the live telling his story
Yeah, I saw
while
that.
I was saying it.
Yeah, I
It
saw
was
that.
actually happening in real life while I was talking about it. And he said that he spent $20,000 as a deposit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You see
I,
what I'm saying? So now you're buying a truck, it's $125,000. You put $20,000 down, $25,000 down. You get what I'm saying?
mm,
Now your reserve is only $2,500. By the time you run 2 weeks doing one pick, one drop from some crazy dispatcher that don't even get to your cost per mile, you already in a negative by the first month. So when that first payment and insurance and everything comes around, you stuck because guess what? You cut the deal across the board and just end up with a bad deal dealing with everybody.
hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And so sometimes I think I said this in my life all the time, and listen, guys, I'm a straight shooter. I told people all the time, I've been saying this from the summer. Some of y'all need to get off the internet. The internet is damaging your career, your business, your mindset. Shut YouTube, Facebook, get off them internet. Some people just can't leave them. The YouTube, the Facebook group chat, where people over there talking about these whole different ideas about trucks.
I,
It's crazy. It's
I, keep,
crazy.
I keep hearing about Facebook group chats. I never looked at one, so I don't
And
know.
you go in the chat. One guy put in the chat, like somebody will put in the chat, what's the best truck to buy? You got International, Freightliner, you got from the type of truck to the type of engine to the type of transmission to the combination.
Hmm.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, by the time you're done, bro, I'm like, forget about this. I buy a bicycle and do Uber with the bicycle. It's crazy. You go in there, it's ridiculous, bro. It's like a classroom full of people that have no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
And the sad part about it, people actually believe that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Yeah. So
But
this.
content creator is a part to do with the whole people mindset being twisted about that quick money out of the box shop business. It's crazy.
Yeah, this thing has turned into a culture, but um, a lot of people are being misled with wrong information. So, and the crazy
Mhm.
thing is, a lot of this information that people are misled with, the bad information, a lot of that stuff is really like common sense. And I just don't see how some people can be misled. Like you can show a person, like this whole Amazon box truck thing, like there's probably people that well, I've seen people because people have commented and said it's not going to work. Said things like,
Mhm.
"Oh, Amazon isn't going to want to pay for it." Like some of that stuff is just ridiculous. Like, what do you mean Amazon can't afford the maintenance? Are you kidding me, man? They're not going to pay them. Even if they were paying the maintenance, they could afford the maintenance. They already have a proven system. They already running a program similar to this. So when people say things or when they see the maintenance, they're gonna want to change their mind. Like some of that stuff is just ridiculous to me, man.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Let's take that for face value. They change their mind. Who they're gonna go back to? You that don't have no capital to sustain their business?
And that's
Who they're
another.
gonna No, wait. You read an article last year that says Amazon were giving over 1 million parcel to FedEx,
Mm,
UPS, and the United States Postal Service.
mm,
So even if this old trucking thing fail, you think they're gonna come to you with your one truck with can't even find a tank of gas?
right.
Yeah, like, what's the point of even making that statement? It's just another way of us talking ourselves out of opportunity over and over. Well, it's not gonna work. Well, he's gonna fail. Why every time something pops up, we always look at the negative side of stuff?
Hmm,
Why not say, man, if this works, I'm gonna think about jumping and see if I can become a partner in Amazon.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then go back to your question about this people mindset being shift to this old box truck thing. I don't get where a majority of the people are following these young 21-year-old, 25-year-old, 19-year-old. You got You got people that could be your daughter and your son.
Mm.
Some people are looking at these people as if they're, oh my God, Mark and Kirk is 42, but I'm inspired by some 21-year-old trick.
Yeah, I talked about that the other
And then
day.
you look at their YouTube channel and they got 200 subscribers, and it started 6-8 months ago. And I'm like, people actually believe in those people. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I talked about that the was Sunday, and there were some people that gave me some backlash. I think my moderator kicked them out, but you know, that's another thing I just don't get. You know what I'm saying? We talk about tenure and experience, being the
Mm-hmm.
best teacher, and people will go subscribe to people that are showing them their journey. They're showing you, look, I just got my box truck rental. So you just got your box truck rental a month ago. You're charging for coaching and mentorship a month later. The people see the video. You showcase your journey. You picking the truck up. You've been running for a month, and then they go and
Mm-hmm.
spend money with them on coaching and mentorship, and they're showing you they've only been doing this a month. See, stuff like that, I just don't understand. I don't get. You know what I'm saying? And then when people get to complaining about these content creators, I'm like, yo, you invested into someone who's only been doing this a month. What do you expect to get from them? What did you expect to get from them? They haven't been running long enough to really give you any type of strategy or give you anything. They're not tenured enough. But people invest their money with them. It is what
Right.
it is. I learned to stop caring. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's,
Yeah, because
at the end of the day, if you want to be a business person, you want to be a business person. Like I said last week, it's a difference between a business person and a box trucker. All right, a box trucker gonna go make that decision. A business person is not. You know what I'm saying? So if you make that ill-advised decision, then as a good business person, you gotta live up to that mistake you made. You gotta own it and move on. So I don't know.
yeah, but people, my live that I'm gonna do talking about the folks that lost thousands of dollars. Um, I'm finishing it up right now because I'm coming out with the live where I'm gonna actually show people how much thousands of dollars people lost
Mm,
coming in the box shop. The number is gonna blow you away because, and I'm gonna be talking about single mothers.
mm,
Yeah, everybody was a victim. Let me tell you something, bro. Single mothers, single fathers, divorcee, married couple. I even dealt with pastors, the deacon at the church.
yeah,
Everybody was on the sponsor thing, bro. Like everybody was in. You get what I'm
yeah.
saying?
We should do
And
a we should do a
I said,
movie.
but listen to this. I said something. I said something. I did a live about. I think it was. I think you were there with that live. Remember the live what I did where I pull up the Instagram
Of the
pictures of the
girls?
girls
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
L cat and
yeah,
the
yeah,
stuff like. Okay, well, as I was coming to Texas today, I
yeah.
got an email. Remember I sent you an email? Remember I showed you an email? I get a message from that same uh platform because I got different ways of getting email.
Uh-huh.
It was a prosecutor, right, from Michigan. Didn't want anything, was just reaching out and stuff. And he texted me his number and I reach out.
Uh-huh.
Well, basically what he was telling me, come across my channel. He said
Yeah.
it pops up, while he was searching through YouTube. I guess the title that catches his eye and he was talking about it. And he said, man, when you were talking about that LCAT, you were so right.
Hmm.
You know how many cases I have dealt with where people are using these LCAT to race at night, to shoot, to rob. They're stealing these LCAT, stealing motors out of them. And he was telling me all this stuff, because the video I show where the guy pops out with a gun and acting a fool. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he was just walking through the whole process with this LCAT thing and our cultural mindset. And he said, man, listen, man, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good thing for the community. I know it's hard, but you just push and go on. And I see what you're trying to do to help our community. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything against LCAT, but what I'm saying to our people is I focus on a car that almost the price of a truck when that can't even, you know, I talk about that all the time. A box truck.
Mm-hmm. Let me,
Pay
truthful Jeremiah, have you ever done hazmat tanker? Me, I don't have a CDL, but Kirk here
a
does. Kirk, you ever did tankers?
box truck for a year.
Kirk, he looked like he having a signal issue. I haven't done super chat though. I saw you had another question here. Have you ever did hazmat tanker as an owner operator? Nah. So Kirk is a CDL guy. I'm gonna bring him back up though. He can answer that question if he has. I haven't. Yo, Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah, look like you got some bad signal.
Yeah, I'm
Wherever you,
here.
yeah, now you better now. Have you ever done hazmat tanker? He left again. Yeah, he's having some signal issues. He's having some signal issues. All right, so we'll bring him back on when he comes back up. It's very hard to find a driver if you have a job. Is it very hard to find a driver if you have a job? Yeah, it's very hard to find drivers now. Drivers are jumping seat to seat. Been like that for a minute now. For me, it's been like that since 2020. All right, so yeah, drivers are jumping seat to seat. Middle mile, semi truck, same thing. Right? That's why a lot of these trucking companies are offering these unprecedented sign on bonuses right now. So finding a driver is a challenge, or it can be a challenge. Yo,
Yeah, I'm back.
all right. Yeah, have you ever did hazmat tanker?
No, I don't have asthma endorsement.
Mm,
I don't have the endorsement for asthma. The thing with CDL is the more endorsement you get is the more restriction
mm-hmm.
and the more requirements. So I just stay with the basic CDL. I don't try to get the all that endorsement, double, triple, asthma, all that stuff is just too much.
Mm,
So I stay away from that. Plus I'm an owner operator, so I have the freedom. I don't really work with an oil company. I don't pull oil.
mm-hmm.
I would have to, if I get endorsement, then I put in oil in barrels and ship it on a box truck or a trailer. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So, but what I was saying, man, it's just that we got to focus more on ownership and build a community into that mindset where we got all these people just, it's just a bunch of temporarily. Everybody's just talking this temp talk. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Can't do it.
It seems
You
like the
know,
box truck
you have
industry is purchased. Go ahead.
you got people who are paying $25,000 on a truck at an interest rate at 19% interest rate for 5 years. Uh, the truck is $80,000.
Mm,
You come out here and you sign up with a dispatcher company. She doesn't know your cost per mile. You don't know your cost per mile.
mm,
You get what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So you start a business coming with your last $35,000 between all the expenses that you got to come out of your pocket with. So now you have a truck and you have dispatchers and you who are not navigating that truck to generate that income. So you're running at $3,000-$4,000 a week in a box truck, not running at a cost per mile that you understand, and you still got to turn around and pay a dispatcher,
10%.
10%, 12%, whatever they are. I've talked to people that pay
20%.
20%. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all of those stuff that people gotta, you guys gotta really sit down and ask yourself if this is. And we're not trying to discourage nobody. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from starting a business. I think that if majority of the people take the time and understand the business, a lot of people will come out here and be very successful. But it's just, it's one of those things where I don't think I think the cabal of the internet telling people the easiest way to make money, which is renting and all that, I think people is gonna still gravitate uh towards that to the end of the year, and I don't think it's gonna stop.
You think people gonna still go out here and rent trucks to the end of the year? We still in January.
People are still doing it. People are people are still doing it, but they're not doing it at the rate that they're doing it.
Mm.
But they're still doing it. There are still folks that are coming out with rent a truck. And the thing when you rent a truck, ask yourself this question. Just ask yourself this question. Let's say you do have the $10,000 capital.
Yeah.
Okay? You're coming out with a new authority. Nobody knows you. These brokers don't know you. You don't have no friends. None of that stuff out here. You get what I'm saying? No connection.
Mm-hmm.
You got a guy hit you up and say, hey man, you want me to be a dispatcher? Okay, cool. Now he's getting you $3,000-$4,000 a week, and he's taking a 10% out of that. You know, it's not that 10 grand, it's not gonna last. And then you still gotta pay that 1,400 or plus mileage on that truck, and it's just, it's you got, and then you have another set of people. You got another set of people. Why you can't finance a truck? Man, I got bad credit. What's your bad credit? Okay, my bad credit is I got 2 credit cards. Is how much is the total? $4,000. Okay, cool. How much you got as a deposit as a truck? You know what I mean? How much you gonna put down? 20 grand. Why you don't use 4,000, fix your credit, and then go finance a truck?
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Truth.
so because they weren't taught credit and finance in their household.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't taught to manage money. They weren't taught to be disciplined with money. You got dudes come out here with one box truck and just bought a new car and running around the city and it's like you know what I'm saying?
That's the mindset thing. People think when they get that LLC or that corporation, they consider themselves a business owner, and then they want all the trinkets that they think come along with that, and that's fine. But I think they do it too prematurely. True for Jeremiah, no, I never said never said I had a CDL. You go look at my content. None of my content is CDL content. So I don't know where the confusion came in at. I mean, appreciate the super chat, but this is not a CDL channel. I've never promoted a CDL. I don't put CDL content up. I only talk about box truck stuff. So I don't know where the miscommunication came, but it's not a CDL channel. So
I would tell people that you better off spend $7,000, go get your CDL. I heard you said it the other night. Go sign up with some company. They give you a $10,000 bonus or $15,000 bonus or sign-on bonus. Work for them a year. You see another company eyeing, switch that company, get 30 grand, put it in the bank, and then you buy your first truck. You get what I'm saying?
yeah. To hell with those dispatchers. So not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, I never had to deal with dispatchers in Final Mile, but I think just knowing the middle mile lane, I feel like people can dispatch themselves. So.
And let me say this because I see let me say this about business credit. People always say building business credit, okay? And I do this on my live one time, and I'm gonna say it over here. When you finance a commercial vehicle, it doesn't go on your credit. It doesn't go on your personal credit. It does not show up on your personal credit. Okay? Your LLC is like your cousin. So when you submit that LLC to the bank, you're basically just telling the bank that, hey, I am willing to put my name on the line just in case A and T don't pay that bill. You get what I'm saying? That's all you're telling them, but it doesn't reflect on your credit. If you put it in the LLC, if you put it in your personal name and let them use your social is going to be in your credit. You get what I'm saying? So it's two different things. Now, when you finance, because a lot of people say, well, I'm going to finance a truck and put it on my credit. Even with credit cards, you still got to find out when you get those credits, you still got to make sure that those credits are reporting to the business credit bureau. There's a personal credit bureau and there's a business credit bureau. I forgot the name of the business credit bureau.
Dun
You
and
get what I'm
Bradstreet,
saying?
DMB.
Dun and Bradstreet, exactly. Thank you for that.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? And then when those people run your credit, I go through. That's why I love the big banks. Not everybody's gonna get them, but that's why I like Toyota Finance and Volvo because they're major. They report everything. You get what I'm saying? So when I go to buy a truck, they're gonna see that I finance through Toyota and I make my payment on time and all that stuff. You get what I'm saying? When you get these business credit card, a lot of people want 100,000, want 200,000. When you get these business card, you can't do like your broker, jump on a plane and go to Miami. Talking about you enjoying the weekend and using business money to pay for those bills. You got to set up a spreadsheet. How much you willing to pay yourself a year? I pay myself $736 a week. You get what I'm saying?
Y'all hear that?
And I give myself a yearly bonus. You get what I'm saying? People come out here and they want to pay. I want to pay myself $1,500, $2,000.
And that's what they netted.
Thank you. So if I pay myself, if my company make $8,000 a week, and I pay myself $736 and take out all my expense and put that money towards a business and let that sit in the account for 1 year at $8,000 per week for 4 weeks for 12 months a year. And then at the end of the year, I then take a 20%, 30% of that, and I submit that to my income as a bonus. I walk away, not only that I pay less tax, you get what I'm saying? But I can manage my finance way better than me coming out here and trying to be some baller. Like I don't get it.
Let me answer these two questions. I see Truthful Jeremiah got another super chat. Got 35K. Would you allocate funds in starting a box truck biz, build LLCs, fundability, so finance is option? You got 35,000 saved up. How would you allocate funds in starting a box truck business? If I was looking to get into business, I had 35,000 getting into the business right now. I'd be looking for a truck to buy. I wouldn't rent. I try to find a truck somewhere. Me personally, because I know that this is a low margin business, so I wouldn't try to go buy a very expensive newer truck. I get a truck a little older, not saying too old, but I'd be looking somewhere in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. And when you're looking in the $20,000 to $30,000 range, you're probably gonna have to cash out on that truck. It's gonna be hard finding a dealership. Well, you may be able to, but I'd be looking somewhere in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. I would definitely buy it under my business. I would try to buy it with no money down. I would aggressively pay off that note. As soon as I pay that thing off in a year, less than a year. All right.
Well, another thing he can do is with 35,000 is he can go to his credit union and apply for a business loan, but tell them that he have 50% down. And when you open that business account, you would put that 50% in and only borrowing 50% of the truck cost. So they'll approve you versus you want the 90% that they give at these credit union. So you get what I'm saying? And then within a year and a half, I would pay that money back to build that relationship with that credit union and the business side.
See, he only got 35.
You see what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, but he's saying he only got 35. So if he puts down 17.5, well, that's half of 35, right? 17.5. That's only gonna leave him with 17.5. And I think, this is me, I think that 17.5 that he's left with is gonna put him on a real narrow string as far as floating that business initially getting it started. 17.5, I don't think is a lot of money to start a box truck business in today's
If
time.
he put 15, if he put 15, so he got 35. So let's say he keep 20,000 in his pocket and use the 15 as a deposit. Even if he used the 10 as a deposit, right?
Yeah.
And still find a truck for 35,000. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would have to aggressively, pay it through
Pay
the
the
credit
truck
union
off.
because
Yeah.
because the thing is, the credit union is gonna give you a lower interest rate, and they'll work out a better deal with you in terms of repaying. So I don't know, when I go to my credit union to buy my Freightliner, they gave us 3.5 year and a $60,000 loan. We paid off in 6 months, but we were paying $550 a week. You get what I'm saying? So, and Jeremiah, that would have to be a mindset that he developed. You get what I'm saying? Because paying these things back, especially when you pay through the credit union, not only that, if you pay every week, what you're gonna start to find is you're gonna be 3-4 months ahead, where every month is gonna say no payment due at this time. That's the statement they're gonna send you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So with that 20 grand, now I can slap an insurance on it, put like 2 grand down, 3 grand down, based on his credit, based on his driving record and all that stuff. You get what I'm saying? But he's really would have to really focus on getting a price range that match what he wants and go to a credit union that can work with him on that.
Yeah,
It can be done.
35,000 is a good amount of money to get started, but your initial like you got to make from the start, like you got to make the best decision, the right decision on acquiring a truck. Rental is out the window. Like you got to buy the best truck for the money that you can get, and you're gonna probably need to aggressively pay it off. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't personally look for a truck. Me personally, I'm looking in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. What about you, Kurt?
Yeah, you can buy a truck in that range, and you still can get like deals right now where you can get like a 2014. You know what I mean? Depending on the type of truck with the mileage. Because and another thing that people have to understand too, a lot of people get scared when they see trucks with 400,000 mile, 300 mile. These motors are built to withstand up to 700 up to 1,000,000 mile.
Yep.
So don't get scared especially if you're gonna use the truck to do local stuff. Just make sure that it got a good engine, the tranny is good, and the truck is well kept and clean.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you really can buy a 350,000 mile truck, spend $30,000 on it, and still have a good running truck without worrying about all that overhead expense that you're gonna have to come out of your pocket with to get a newer truck.
Thoughts on Amazon Relay with semi trucks? I Amazon Relay with semi trucks. I don't know. I don't know.
My buddy does that.
What does he say
My
about
buddy
it?
does that.
What does he say about it with a semi truck?
It's the same thing as a box truck. It's the same exact thing, because what happened is they get the same cancellation as the box truck. They have to bid on the load the same. The same process. The only difference with him with the Amazon, when let's say he'll go to pick up a trailer, and sometime they got these Amazon carts that in the back of the trailer, and they don't want to take them out. They want to ship them back to the facility, but it doesn't belong there. He can actually get someone on the phone.
Whereas the box truckers
The
can't.
process is a little bit different with the semi.
Oh, it's different.
Where the
with
box
semi.
truckers is kind of like they gotta it's different process with the box truckers. You get what I'm saying? So but he makes good money with it, but it's the same process. Is 1 week he makes 7 grand, and next week he's crying.
Sounds like the same.
You know what I mean?
same
Amazon
story with the
sent
box
him
truckers.
from Oklahoma. Yeah, Amazon sent him from Oklahoma to Arkansas, and from Arkansas it's supposed to go to Mississippi and Louisiana and then Georgia. And by the time he reached Arkansas, they cancel the rest of the load. It's the same thing. The same thing.
So
So,
I hope that answers your question. I don't run semi trucks. True for Jeremiah, so I wouldn't know. So I don't know. Like Kirk says, the same thing because he knows someone that runs semis for relay. He says it's pretty much the same ball game as the box truck. So
yeah,
should I pay for insurance
yeah,
for
it's the
6 months
same
to a
thing.
year? I mean, me personally, that's up to you. You know, some people just pay it off for the whole year. Depends on how your money is. If you can afford to pay it and get that 12-month discount by paying it up front, then God bless you. Not everybody is in that. Not everybody is in that position. But if you have the capital to get those savings from paying it 6 months to 12 months up front, then by all means, yeah, take advantage of the savings if you have the resources to do that. Got
Yeah, an
approved.
insurance company will give you a discount if you pay up to, if you go on auto pay, and sometime when you do like two pay, the more you pay down is the more they give you, the less the policy is. So it does give you a benefit.
He said, "I'm working." Man, I don't like. You don't have to build your business credit to get finance for a truck. I mean, you're gonna have to personally guarantee it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if you're starting off um, in the industry, whether you got solid business or you have no business, if you haven't done business before, they're gonna make you guarantee it. They're gonna make you guarantee it. Like so, if you're ready to get started, then go get started. You don't have to necessarily build. And I don't understand what nothing to you, Interstate Screw. I don't, because people say this all the time. I'm trying to figure out where are they getting this information from that you got to build your business credit to go get a truck. I bought 2 new vehicles
The
and
internet.
I didn't have to build my business credit to go get them. I had to personally guarantee them. My
The
personal
internet.
credit had to be strong because I had to guarantee them anyway. So yeah, I guess it is the internet, but no, you don't have to build
The internet.
your business credit. Every new business is a new business. Every new business doesn't have a history. That's why they make you PG it. They make you personally guarantee it. If you go buy a truck and your business isn't established yet, you got a 730 credit score, and they say, okay, you buy this truck, but you have to personally guarantee it. You personally guarantee it. You pay that truck off 36 months, 48 months, 60 months, whatever. The second go around, you've established some type of payment history. You have some type of rapport with them, and they'll say, you know what, okay, the second go around, now we'll allow you to purchase another truck if you want, solely under the business. You don't have to personally guarantee it. But nowadays, I don't care if your business credit is strong. If you haven't done business with them before, you're gonna have to personally guarantee it. That's just the way things are now.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, that's just the way. That's just the
And
way it
you can
is.
have good credit and still don't get finance because the bank. You can start a business, like open a LLC, and if their requirement is that you have to have the LLC for a year, 6 months to a year, you can show up at the bank to finance a truck and still don't get approved because there's no history.
Yep.
And you got a 700, and you got a co-signer. Your wife, she got 850. It doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying? So, but on the internet, there's a lot of these guys that, just like over the box truck side of YouTube, you got guys who talk about getting $50,000 on a credit card, build your business credit up with no asset. All that nonsense promote there.
Yeah.
Let me
Jeremiah
show
with
you
another.
how to increase.
I got Jeremiah with another super chat. Shout out to Jeremiah with the super chats tonight. I got hit an air horn. Air horn for Jeremiah. So check it out. It's a lot of money in selling truck courses. A lot of people got, I don't know if they got rich, but a lot of people last year got wealthy selling truck courses, selling mentorships, selling consultations. Some of those courses, consultations, mentorships, I guess had value. A lot of them didn't. Hence all the complaining and calling out that's going on the internet right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of money in it now, but I think last year during that hype phase of this whole box truck hype last year, 2020, I'm sorry, 2022, because it's 2023 now,
Right.
so I keep thinking we're into 20. So the earlier part of last year, all of 2021, and probably halfway the second half of 2020, yeah, a lot of people that were in the space made a heck of a lot of money um, off selling information, and people bought it. I don't think there's a lot of money in it now because the wool has been pulled from over people's eyes. But yeah, there was a lot of money in it. I don't think it's like that anymore. The interest that was surrounding the space then is not this
Right.
that interest level isn't there anymore to sell those courses. That's why you see a lot of those guys that are still around that were making a lot of money.
Yeah.
They're really pushing buy my course discounted one time, for a short time period. I'm offering it at 50% off, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, there's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of money in it.
Yeah, and you gotta look at the people. You gotta look at the people that are still around doing YouTube content pertaining box truck. I talk about this all the time. The consistency, were they really in the box truck space only for the money, or they really were in it to let you get the money that they were getting? Because a lot of guys who came out last year, uh, they were just in it for the hype and the money. You get what I'm saying? But what about those content creators that came out here and still here? I'm not going anywhere. You know, I mean, you're not going anywhere. You get what I'm saying? I mean, you never came to sell mentorship. You get
Right.
what I'm saying? But your purpose of your channel was for you to come and give valuable information. But for those people, if I started when the hype was going on and I was selling course and now the hype died down and I'm like, okay, I'm it's been 4 months you haven't seen me, and 6 months, and close to I saw one guy close to 8 months he haven't posted a video.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people are just it's just who you really, you really got to focus on who really comes out here where really to benefit you. You get what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Mark, a guy told me you can be a box truck millionaire by year 2. I'm like, he lying like a mom. I'm 20. I'm doing CDL school. Shout out to Truthful Jeremiah for the super chat. Again, here's the thing. Grossing $1 million and netting $1 million is two different things. Grossing $1 million in the box truck space, depending on the lane you're running, that's attainable. I've done that. You know what I'm saying? If you're running the right lane and you're running at scale, then you can gross $1 million easily. If you run the right lane, you're running at scale. Netting $1 million is a different ball game. All right, to net $1 million, it took me 15 trucks running final mile. All right, running final mile, and it cost me 80%. So $800,000 of that million went to cost: fuel, payroll, incidences, insurance, truck cost, all that stuff. So 80% is what it cost me to run. Now, netting $1 million, definitely have to be running at scale. And, you figure one final mile truck, if you're running the right account, a 26 footer, you're running right account, you can get somewhere between $200,000 to $300,000, depending on the market, depending on how many days a week you're running. But a lot of that is going to get ate up in cost. A lot of that's going to get ate up in cost. So now that's final mile. All right. Now with, let's say, Amazon Relay, grossing $1 million, I think, what do you think, Kurt? About maybe 5 trucks, maybe
with
5 trucks.
Amazon.
Yeah, with Amazon running, you gotta be running strong though. Nah, probably
I
more
don't.
than 5 trucks. No, more than 5
No, you
trucks.
can't. No,
No, more than
because
5 trucks.
you no, because here I wouldn't put Amazon in this scenario.
No.
Let's take Amazon out of no, because here what the problem with Amazon. We're talking about let's say you do final mile, right? And every day that truck is guaranteed to get 650,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's guaranteed. It's on a contract and it's gonna get, curbside delivery. You're guaranteed to get 650, 750 a day, right?
Yeah.
That's a guarantee as long as the operation keep running. It's consistent because it's customer buying and you're delivering, right?
Right.
So you do a Home Depot, Staple, wherever, right?
Right.
That right there, I can say yes. You're gonna use 5 truck to make $1 million. But if you're going to Amazon, the rate is gonna be inconsistent. It's gonna be 5 here, 4 here, 3 here. What if you got 5 trucks? Every load get less than $1,000.
All right. So let's use middle mile. Let's use partial. Partial. What do you think?
Then if you run partial, then you can get that kind of money with 5 truck. You see what I'm saying? Because if you go to Amazon, here what's gonna happen. Let's say 5 trucks is running to Amazon, 3 of them get canceled.
Right.
That truck don't make no money for that. You get what I'm saying? That period of the time that it runs.
Yeah.
So now I spend $100 to travel 150 miles only to get 175.
Right.
So I'm actually not making any money. So
Right.
keeping 5 of these trucks, putting in Amazon is like a bait and switch. It's like you agree to something, and by the time you show up, they switch it.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're not gonna make that kind of money. So if you run partial, or even if you run one pick, one drop, and you know your cost per mile, running 5 truck, you can definitely make that because you can pick up a load from Jersey going over to Chicago and still make $2,200.
Yeah. Now,
You get what I'm saying?
2 years to be a millionaire in a box truck. I mean, no, I don't see it. So
But
no.
But you can't do that in one single box truck. That's not.
You can't
That's
do it
not
in
true.
one single box truck. Like to make $1 million, like, man, there's just so many. It's so many different scenarios. Like I'm just trying to, because when I first grossed it, you're talking about 15 vehicles, and you figure 9 of them were doing Office Depot, and that was at a guarantee of $300 per vehicle. So that's $2,700 right there. Then I'm running Select Express, and you ran Select Express, so you already know those routes were shitty. You know what I'm saying? I was taking a loss on some of those routes. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm running 3 more trucks a day for IKEA. Now those routes are giving me a guarantee of $500 a day and $600 a day on the weekend. So there's different scenarios. You know what I'm saying? It took me that amount of trucks just to gross it. Now another person could run 5 final mile trucks, right, that are doing Home Depot. 2 could be doing Home Depot, 2 could be doing Lowe's, and 1 could be doing Best Buy. Each one of these trucks are grossing $250,000 a year. So now you're at 1.25. Now, if they're doing a 6-day contract of $5,000 a week, now there's your $1 million gross. But netting $1 million, like, I don't know. And it's not going to happen in 2 years. I don't know. Grossing, yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? The right lane with the right accounts. But netting $1 million, I don't know. I don't know. Kirk looked like he in a spaceship. Oh, I got another one. Jeremiah, thanks for the super chat. Can you ask guy in the gray shirt how many semi trucks you need to net $1 million in 4 years? Like 3. Hey, Kirk. I think Kirk.
That's my boy. I want to remember.
Hey, Kirk, you freezing up. You freezing up. Hey, Kirk, you freezing up. Hey, Kirk gonna have to come back. He freezing up. When he come back, I'll bring him back up, Jeremiah, to answer your question. He on the road right now. He had a truck stop, so his signal fading in and out. So he'll answer your question when he come back up. So when he comes back up, I'll put you back up. Let me answer this one. I bought a 2001 Ford E350 for $3,000, and so far it only needs a fuel pump. Is that a good deal? And would I be able to find work with an older van? I think it's a good deal. It's an older vehicle. Fuel pump, easy job. I think you'll be able to get some work. The only problem you may run a risk at with that vehicle is if they have, whoever you go to, if they have stipulations on the year of the truck. Some companies, like, let's say for instance, GoShare, they have a 15-year requirement. So if your truck is 15 years or older, then they won't let you on the platform. So that's the only thing that you gotta worry about. Other than that, there's plenty of work you can get. Like I always talk about, your T-Force, your Capstone, your Staple, your Waco. There's a plethora of different medical supply accounts you can get. Guess it's muted themselves. Hold on, let me pull them up. There's a plethora of different medical supply companies you can go with. And there's a plethora of gig apps you can go with. So yeah, I think you can definitely find some opportunities for that van. The only thing they may hinder you is if they put a stipulation on the age of the vehicle, which you're definitely going to run into, because some places do have those stipulations. So, hey Kurt, I don't see you. I don't see you. Well, he went off again. He having connection issues. So when he comes back up, I'll bring him back up to answer your questions, Jeremiah. But shout out to D Whitley. So everybody that's in here that's signed up for the mentorship, they got the free mentorship. I sent out those Facebook messages and I sent out the Instagram messages earlier today with the link. You guys got to register. Make sure you register. The time is 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Quite a few people didn't register yet, so you got to register to get into the free mentorship. It's for those 15 people that want it. So make sure you guys register. I think D Whitley, you are one of them. That's what jogged my memory to make this announcement now. So make sure you guys register for Sunday morning. He's trying to come in, but I don't see him. I don't see you, Kurt. Oh, there you go. Yo. Can you hear me? Kurt. He frozen. He frozen. Hey, Kirk, you frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you just frozen on screen. But I can hear you, though. There you go. Let me answer some other questions until you come back up to answer Jeremiah's question. How old of a box truck would y'all suggest? That all is up to you and your budget. You know what I'm saying? I don't have an issue with older box trucks because my trucks are older. But you know, to each his own. You have to factor in, like I said in the video, when you're buying a truck, you got to factor in a lot of things. One thing that a lot of people don't factor in when they buy a truck is the cost of insurance. You know, people go buy these newer trucks and then they message me like, oh man, they trying to charge me this much for insurance. Well, the newer the truck, the more insurance you're going to pay. So you got to know what your budget is, all right? And depending on what your budget is, your operating expense, the operating expense that you want to be at, the year, make, and model of your truck is going to be a determining factor. One of the main determining factors that's going to help you kind of figure out what your budget is going to be. The newer the truck you get, Obviously, the higher your finance rate, your note is going to be, and the higher your insurance is going to be. The older your truck is going to be, the cheaper it's going to cost. The lower your note is going to be if you're going to finance it. The cheaper your insurance is going to be. There are some companies that do have stipulations on the age of your truck. So depending on if you're running middle mile, then you don't have to worry about that. But if you're running final mile, you may want to check with the company that you plan on applying with to see if they have some type of age stipulation. If you plan on running some gig apps like Mothership, you may want to do the same thing. So it all depends on what your budget is. I wouldn't be scared to buy an older truck. I know I did a video about it. Kirk just talked about, buying a truck older with some age on it. It all depends on you, what your budget is, and how much you're looking or can afford to spend a month. Let me see. Most brokers in expedite do not want an old van. So there goes your answer for van work as far as expediting. I really expedite. If they don't register, are you adding more? I don't know. Tomorrow I'm gonna look. Tomorrow I got I ain't gonna say it. I got something big I gotta do tomorrow with a company, and it may be good for the channel. So I've been kind of focusing on that right now. I got a meeting in the morning with a company, so if everything goes through with this company, I may be able to, bring some stuff to the channel to help people out. And then after that, I'll take a look at and Kurt, there you go. I'll be able to take a look to see who registered, and then here's the thing. If people haven't registered when I look tomorrow, they may register Saturday, right? And then if they don't register Saturday, they may register Sunday morning, so I probably won't be able to add people for this go around because people may not register to the very last minute Sunday morning. So probably not because I want to get everybody that did receive it a fair opportunity to register and join. All right, so I probably not. I think Kurt ran out of data. I think Kurt just having some issues wherever he's at with the signal. I don't feel like a brand new truck is necessary to get to the money. I think buying a brand new truck, the reason why I bought the one brand new truck, I bought a brand new truck and a brand new van. All right. The reason why I bought the one brand new truck that I did buy, I had a purpose to buy it. Select Express was sending me a lot of long distance downstate final mile deliveries because none of the other contractors wanted to do it because we all had older trucks and no one wanted to, put an older truck to run 4 or 5 hours downstate. Once they guaranteed me that, hey, if you want to do all these, we'll send you all the long distance stuff and you can make this money. That gave me the motivation once I got that commitment from them that they were going to give me all that work to go out and purchase a brand new truck. If they wouldn't have never said, if you want all this long distance work, we'll give it to you, I would have never went out and bought a truck. The only reason I went out and bought a truck is because they committed to me. And that's why I bought it, because I wanted that reassurance. I wanted that confidence that I wasn't going to have to worry about a truck breaking down 4 hours away or 3 hours away downstate. I agree with you. I think, it's not necessary that you buy a brand new truck to get money. Like I say, the trucks that I bought when I was building my fleet, those trucks were all 05s, 06s. And this was purchases from 2013, the latter part of 2013 throughout 2014. And those trucks were 8 years old then. So, my trucks are the ones that I have left that I haven't sold are approaching 20 years old, 18 years old. So you can still get money in an older truck once you acquire the truck and you do all the maintenance that you need to do. It's your job to keep up with the maintenance. As long as you take care of your truck is going to take care of you. It's the people who don't take care of their trucks, the people who don't PM their trucks, the people who, hear little things and they ignore them. Those are the people who ultimately have issues with their trucks, because those little things that they hear, ultimately they ignore them and they turn into big things. And when they turn into big things, they have been robbing from the sustainability of business by not keeping cash flow, because they've been paying themselves with all the cash flow, and then something breaks down, they don't have the money to fix it. Next thing you know, they out of the box truck business because their truck broke down. So as long as you take care of your truck is going to take care of you. So it is what it is. You don't need a brand new truck to make money. My dude uses both an old van and a new Silverado. The money is green either way. Yeah, so if you got something that can move the freight no matter what lane you're in, a lot of these companies don't care. Like I said, there's a few companies that do have stipulations on the age of your truck, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, most of them don't, because at the end of the day, you're responsible for once it moves off their dock. All right, so if your truck breaks down, you got freight and they got to send a recovery truck, guess what? They're going to have some angry customers mad at them, because some of those deliveries might have to get postponed to the next day, or some of them may be running late, but that recovery truck they send out, that contractor they send out to recover that load, they're going to charge you for it. So either way, the logistics company ain't going to cover the cost, so they really don't give a damn. That is why I don't pay myself a lot. If you're starting out and you can survive off you can pay yourself very minimal, then that's always the best way to go. Keep the cash flow in the business. Pay yourself the minimal so that you can get the necessities that you need in life. Pay your bills, your essentials, and then let the business have keep the cash flow for unforeseen incidences that may arise. I think Kirk is having some issues with his I guess Wi-Fi wherever he's at. I forgot where he said he's at out there in Texas at a truck stop. But if he pops back up, I'll have him answer this question, Jeremiah, if you're still here. Semi trucks, you need to net $1 million in 4 years, like 3. Well, I heard, and I'm not answering this question from experience because I've never run semi trucks, but I read a story about one semi truck. This was during the pandemic that grossed $500,000 out of one truck. So I think an average semi truck probably can do, one semi truck on the road, from what I've researched, probably $200 to $300 a year, depending on the driver and how hard they drive. You know what I'm saying? So let's say 3 trucks, 4 trucks, you to net or gross. And then another thing is, truthful Jeremiah, are you talking about gross or net? Because I think 4 semi trucks can easily gross $1 million a year. Now netting, did you say net? Can you ask how many semi trucks? Oh, you did say net. Now I don't know. That's something you got to ask Kirk. Yeah, I can't even answer that question, so I ain't even going to attempt to answer it. I don't know. Can my 30 go? Oh, here go Kirk. Let me pull him up. There you go. You got it together?
Go, Kirk.
Yo,
You got me?
Yeah, I hear you. You got to turn off the live. You playing in the background. I hear it again. And you freezing. Hey Kirk. Yeah, man, he having issues, man. We might not be able to get him back tonight. He was doing fine, but I don't know what's going on, where he at. All right, that was a question that I saw pop up here. I think Axel got to it before me. Yeah, the answer is going to be no. Can my authority go active? can my authority go active even if I'm just an add-on to another family member's commercial insurance? No. All right. Axel got to it before me. All right. No. You're adding on yourself to someone else's insurance. Your broker or whoever you're dealing with got to file your company with the FMCSA in order for your authority to go active. So you got to have your own authority. You got to have your own insurance. All right. And your broker has to file it with the FMCSA in order for you to go active. It's Ecamm. It keep freezing up. He's saying it's the Ecamm. So I don't know. It was working fine. So I don't know. Kirk might not be able to come. But nah, Oscar, you can't do that, man. You gotta do it the right way. You gotta do it the right way if you want your authority to go active. No, that's gonna be a no. All right. And then I don't know. Jeremiah, I appreciate the super chat, but Kirk having some issues signing in right now. So if I get him back, then he'll answer the question. But Kirk, if you in the chat, Jeremiah got a question for you. He wants to know how many semi trucks you need to net $1 million in 4 years. If you could just type the answer into the chat, Kirk, it'd be greatly appreciated for Jeremiah. Kirk using Ecamm on road. If so, he needs a better laptop. But he's just logging into the link that I provided. But I guess that's still Ecamm. So I don't know. It was working fine though. So, but if it ain't no more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and skedaddle. Shout out to Jeremiah for all of these super chats. The channel greatly appreciates it. Shout out to Pippi. Shout out to Axel. Shout out to Kirk for joining the live. If you are a part of that free mentorship, it does start Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you guys hit that link that you guys got sent earlier today, either in your messenger or your DM. Make sure you guys register with Zoom. Other than that, if there ain't no more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Hey Kurt, but real quick, if you still watching, can you type that answer in to the chat before I end the live? If you're listening, I just want to make sure he gets an answer. Oh, here it goes. There it goes. He just put it in. With this semi, you need about 3 semis doing OTR. So there goes your answer. But he said net. Is that netting, Kirk, or is that grossing? I think that's grossing, right? He wants to know how many trucks to net $1 million. I know grossing. I think that's with gross. How many trucks to net? I'm going to let Kirk answer that, and then I'm going to go ahead and end the live. I got a meeting in the morning, so I need to prepare for it. That meeting it is regarding the channel. It's with a big company, so if everything goes good, I may be able to help some people out. Oh, that's net. So he's saying 3 trucks, you can net $1 million. So there you have it. There you have it, guys. 3 semi trucks, he's saying you can net. Doing hazmat, cool. I'm pretty sure doing hazmat. I know hazmat pays more than drive van loads. So I'm pretty sure Kirk is answering that question from a drive van perspective. So if you're talking about doing hazmat, I'm definitely sure you can do it with hazmat. So you're 20 years old and you're in CDL school. I think you're on the right path, man. You starting out early, man. So make that money. and invest that money into other things. And man, by the time you get 30, you work, man, if you drive trucks maybe 5 strong years at 20, and you take that money and you invest it into other things that are automated while you're out on the road, that don't physically need you to be there, and they don't require other people to be there, I think by the time you're 30, you'll be well on your way. And that's something that you don't see a lot of. All right, man. So whatever it is that's driving you to do this at 20, man, keep that same focus. Keep that desperate induced, stay desperate, stay motivated, keep that desperate induced focus, and get to that money, man. And just keep doing whatever you're doing, man, because I don't hear a lot of people your age wanting to do anything, you know what I'm saying, especially being CDL school, to go out over the road and make money. So a lot of people, they want to mess around in their 20s and then wake up, they're 30, and then they got 2-3 kids, and then figure out, okay, well, I got to do something with my life. You know what I'm saying? At 20, that's a good age to start, man. That's a good age to start, man. No problem. And get rid of all your girlfriends that will hinder you. Oh yeah, well, man, if you going over the road, man, you know what? He a 20-year-old trucker. So man, when he come home for the weekend, he can do what he do, and then he hit the road, man. He could probably take a little thing out on the road with him. But man, Jeremiah sound like he focused on the bread. So man, that's good to hear, man. He ain't focused on the girls. He ain't focused on getting a Hellcat. You know what I'm saying? He gonna take that money and invest it. Stay on the road. 20 years old, he probably still live at the crib. So that means if he's 20, he's still at home. That means he's out on the road. He don't gotta get no crib. When he comes home for the weekend, he can just stay at mom. So he ain't gotta pay no rent, none of those bills. Kick mom, dad down with a little money just because, and live on the road and come home to mommy and daddy's crib during the weekend, not have none of that cost. Man, he can stack ugly bread. And the money that he's stacking, he can invest that into other things. Man, by the time he's 30, man, he'll be set, man. He'll be set, man. He'll be set. He'll be 21 in July. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm on right now every Sunday and Thursday, and then I'm starting Tuesdays back in February, hopefully. So right now, Sundays and Thursdays, I'm on. Stay at home as long as you can. Definitely stay at home as long as you can. Don't let nobody talk you out of staying at home. Stay at home as long as you can until you feel confident enough that when you go out on your own, you ain't gonna go back. All right. Yeah, he'll be 21 in July, man. So man, I salute him, man. I salute him, man. Good job, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep that motivation, man. Keep that focus, man. And stay desperate. Don't get complacent, and don't get comfortable, and you'll be well on your way, man. I appreciate everybody for coming out. What is that Axel talking about? Right, stay at the crib. And dress like a homeless person and hide your money. Well, I wouldn't say dress like a homeless person, but you don't have to dress like a homeless person, but you can definitely dress down. You can definitely dress down and save your money. Stay at the crib and stack the bread. Yeah, stay at the crib, man. $28,000 per month net, $336,000 per year for each truck. There you go. That's how you gonna make $1 million a year. $28,000 per month net, $336,000 a year. Jeremiah said hazmat trucking calling his name. Man, go get it, man. Go get it. Stack as much money as you can. Don't make it your end all be all. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing I'm probably going to talk about on one of these lives. It's like health in the trucking. You know, I think that's something that a lot of people we know about it, but we don't talk about it because I think a lot of people want to talk about the things that are popular so that they can get subscribers and people into their live. But I think health, I think health is a very important factor that a lot of people neglect when it comes to trucking. So I definitely want to do a live talking about health. Yeah, health is wealth. But I think getting into the trucking space now, I think a big part of sparing your health is, not staying in trucking too long. I think those 20, 30, 40, 50-year truckers, I think all those years were, and the food choices obviously are a big determining factor of declining health for truckers. I don't think trucking, this is me personally, I think trucking now, maybe 10 years, 15 years at the most, and transition into something else. The longer you sit in that truck, the more your health is going to decline. And you can try to fight it all you want. You can get out the truck and do push-ups and run around the truck lot, but when you mix and driving that truck all those hours and then being out on the road with a lot of unhealthy choices, and you're doing that 20, 30 years, is just not healthy. I think trucking now, 10, 15 years, transition to something else. You want to get out at 25. Hey, there you go. There you go. There you go. I gave him 10, he said 5. So there you go. So that's a man with a plan. I'd love to hear his plan one day. Eat low sodium, read every label. Still need more healthy choices on the road, you know what I'm saying? Still need more healthy choices on the road, man. Need more options. Man, some of these truck stops need gyms. I think Love's. Here's the thing. Just like other industries have, are incorporating health, like a lot of these corporate companies now, they have gyms built into their office facilities to attract applicants, to attract the best candidates to come into their business as applicants. I think Love's, I think Flying J, I think Pilot, they have the space. They need to start building gyms at some of these travel plazas and charging a membership. If you got a Flying J membership, or you got a Pilot membership, or you got a Love's membership, they should have a tier-based gym membership, you know what I'm saying, where, these truckers, when they're down, they can go in the gym and work out. Now, these are issues that I talk about that the industry has, that someone needs to solve these problems, all right, and capitalize on it. Here's an opportunity for these companies to build gyms and create more streams of revenue, but I don't see them doing it. And they have plenty of space to do it. They can easily build a gym and charge a membership, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? These Loves and these Flying J's, when they have these big truck plazas and stuff, they franchise all the unhealthy restaurants. If you go to a Pilot and then it's a McDonald's or it's a Wendy's connected to it, that Pilot owns those McDonald's franchises. I don't understand why they don't, in these travel plaza malls, why don't they buy franchises for more healthier options? Why don't they build a gym in some of these places? It is what it is. I don't own one of these companies, but if I did, I would definitely build out a gym and charge truckers on a tier-based system to utilize the gym. Damn, so smart, bro. Good business venture. Yeah, man, just sitting up here talking to y'all, I'm brainstorming ideas just coming out. Some of these ideas I probably could try to make happen. Some of them can't, but it's weird to me that, with all the complaining that truckers do, that these big corporations, Love's, Flying J, Pilot, just don't build a gym. They have a game room. Some of these places where they have legal gambling, you go to some of these travel plazas, they have slot machines and stuff like that. They'll build out a game room, but they won't build out a gym. And they can charge a membership for the gym, just like they give you that little card where they scan it. Do you have a Flying J card? You scan it, man. They can sell you a gym membership, $9.95 a month. They can just have one tier. They don't even have to have multi-tier. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're going to build out a state-of-the-art gym. They may have a few treadmills, a few ellipticals, a bench or two, some cardio. It's probably going to be mostly cardio, right? Maybe some free weights and maybe a leg press machine and maybe some cables, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? And then charge a $9.95 a month, right? And wherever you go across the country, you got membership, you got access to the gym if they have a gym at that facility wherever you go across the country for whatever corporation is, whether it's Love's, Pilot, Flying J, whatever. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. We need better lot lizards. Okay. Well, then with those lot lizards, you know what else they're going to have to incorporate building? When they build that gym, they're going to have to build an STD facility right next to that thing. All right. They're going to have to build an STD facility. They're going to have an urgent care. So if you want better lot lizards or you want more lot lizards, make sure they build an urgent care right next to that gym they're going to build. And they make sure they got plenty of them horse pills for you. Plenty of them horse pills. They need to put a foot washing station in for the foreign guys. Man, they got the showers for them joints. Them guys just don't take showers. They don't take showers because it's against a culture or something, I think. But it was fun tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys for showing up. I'll be back Sunday with another topic. This guy said he wants to be a billionaire in trucking. I said, you want to get the money and get out. I think the billionaires that we see in trucking, we might not see no new billionaires. I think your JB Hunts, your Schneiders, it just goes back to what I said earlier, early adoption. I think, all industries have seasons, you know what I'm saying? The trucking season, those people who got in early, the early adopters, those are your JB Hunts, those are your Schneiders, those are your XBOs, so on and so forth. The trucking industry now is very expensive to get into. I don't even think, and then maybe Amazon might have been the last person that started a logistics company that turned it into $1 billion business. I don't really see any new up and coming entrepreneurs building out a multi-billion-dollar trucking industry. I just don't see it. I think that time has came and went, and the players that are in the industry now that are at that level, those are the players that you're going to see. And they're going to be the ones, as technology continues to innovate and push the industry forward. Those are the companies and those are the people that are going to invest in that technology and go forward along with it. So I know Amazon, quiet as kept. Amazon probably eventually, I know they're doing it in the UK. I think eventually here they're going to start competing against UPS and FedEx. They're already doing it in other countries. I think they're going to start moving all freight. So just like if you want to mail your aunt something from New York to California, and just like you would go to the UPS store, the FedEx store, you can send it through Amazon. I think eventually they're going to adapt that model. And that's what I'm saying. They're just going to push forward. They're already doing it in other countries. So somebody told you they want to become a billionaire in trucking. I think that boat has set sail already. Hey, Mark, is it wise to apply for cargo van carriers first without a van for inquiry purposes? Hey, Mark, is it wise to apply for cargo van carriers first without a van for inquiry purposes only? You can, but then the thing is it's going to be that one that's going to get back to you real quick. Like, man, how soon can you start? So, I mean, it doesn't hurt. If you want to just inquire to get information, yeah, that's not going to hurt. Nah. Is Alex Hoggerman a billionaire? Who the hell is Alex Hoggerman? Let me look him up. Alex Hoggerman? Who's Alex Hoggerman? Is he like Alex Hoggerman? I don't see no Alex Hoggerman. I just Google search Alex Hoggerman. I don't see an Alex Hoggerman. What does he do? What does Alex Hoggerman do? Oh, Alex Burton. I'm like, who the hell is Alex Hoggerman? God damn it. I don't know. Let's see. Alex Burton. Alex Burton. Oh, this Alex Burton. You know what, man? I don't know, man. I saw him pop up. I never clicked on none of these videos. So I don't know. He could be, he could be. I mean, if you have the right amount of equipment at scale, you can make $1 million. Kirk just said you can net $1 million with 3 trucks in 1 year. So I think if you have the right equipment, if you have the equipment and you have the drivers at scale, I think you can do it. So there's no telling, A lot of this stuff I see on the internet, I take it with a grain of salt. Some of the people could be telling the truth. Some of the people might not be. So I don't know. But it doesn't, as far as equipment in a semi truck, Kirk says you can do it with 3 trucks. So if you got 3 trucks, you got 3 solid drivers and your trucks are rolling consistently, then it's not a hard task to make it happen if you have everything in order to do it. But I don't know this guy personally, so I don't know. I can't answer that question. I cannot answer that question. So I don't know. I've never watched him in an interview, but I know I've seen him around. I seen the thumbnail for Truck and Hustle before. I didn't click on it. And I seen him on another podcast. I didn't watch it, but so I don't know. All right, but if there's no other questions, then I'm going to go ahead and get up out of this thing, and I'll be back Sunday. I appreciate everybody for coming out. Hit that like button on your way out. And I'll be back Sunday night, guys. All right, shout out to Truthful Jeremiah for all the super chats. Shout out to Pippi. Pippi, thank you for moderating. Hit that like button on the way out. Shout out to Axel. Shout out to Kurt. Everybody that got the mentorship, I'll see you guys Sunday. Everybody else, I'll see you Sunday night. I'm out.